for a text box. This is a different version.
If you are not close enough to the vehicle, it will only show you one option. If you are close enough, it'll show you 4.
It's better if you get to the side.
Yeah, try the side if it's not working.
There we go.
F6, vehicle menu, vehicle information, the top vehicle information. Under vehicle information, you'll see lockpick vehicle. That will open the vehicle for you. Shocker. Pretty self-explanatory. If it doesn't unlock on the first try, and it just opens the door for you, but you still can't get in, you just have to lockpick it twice.
Who just said something?
All I'm getting is vehicle information.
Because you're not close enough.
Then you need to go around to the side of the vehicle and face it and touch the vehicle. It is very finicky. You have to sometimes walk around the vehicle and find out where it is until it gives you 4 options.
And also on the lockpick vehicle, make sure you get in and lock and unlock it right away. Otherwise, you will have to lockpick it again when you get out.
Yep. And then for that case, you can use the M lock. If you press M, it will unlock and unlock it.
How would you do the thing with the key again? How you would have to double tap something?
E, double tapping E for a personal vehicle. That is only for the vehicle you set as your personal vehicle, so that will only work for your cop car. If you have relogged though after you set personal vehicle, it will be finicky and you won't be able to get back in it. And in that case, you would need to lockpick it. Other than that, you should see out of the 4 options a bottom vehicle information. If for some reason your vehicle information is not working, or you want to try to run a plate from afar and you can see it visually, you can type in the plate. Caps do matter and spaces do matter.
Oh no.
Alright. And then also on the F6 menu, outside of the vehicle menu, will be a utility spawn. That just lets you spawn cones, barriers, spikes, and cash boxes. You won't really need to use any of them. They're difficult to delete. It'll give you a prompt to delete them by pressing E. Side note, right now there is the use of spike strips is suspended. They do not currently come up when you delete them, so please do not use the road spikes. Police barriers still work,
Tim might have fixed that.
Might have. Let's
yes.
stick on the safe side for now.
Yeah.
Do not use the road spikes.
I do know he fixed it that when you die, anything that you spawn despawns automatically. That was fixed.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I'll just know that if you call an admin to the scene to delete them, you're probably going to get a bullet to the head in that case. It's an interesting way to get rid of them.
Alright. Does anyone have any questions about any menus? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Cool. Let's move to traffic stops.
Would you like me to go acquire a vehicle?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Would someone else like to run the traffic stops while I rest my voice so it doesn't give out on me?
I don't mind doing it. Or somebody else can, just let me know, but I don't mind doing it. Alright, so here today we're going to be conducting traffic stops. You're going to hear what radio traffic is going to sound like. You're going to hear our interaction. And then you're also going to hear how we kind of RP the scene. How we're going to approach, how the vehicle's going to look. It will be a little different for highway patrol on the highway compared to in the city, but we will go over that. Give me 1 second.
Here, can we go ahead and move all the vehicles that are not doing the traffic stop out of the way, please? Just move them into the hangar. And then all the recruits, you're free to get out of your vehicles and walk around the traffic stop once it's being started.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna mention one more quick thing regarding vehicles. Your vehicles should be locked at all times, irregardless of exclusive driver. If you are not in your vehicle, it should be locked.
How do you lock them again?
Double tap
E.
If the vehicle is set as your personal vehicle, you can double tap E. If it is not, you can press the M button.
How do you set it as your personal vehicle?
F1, vehicle related options, personal vehicle, and then press enter on the first option.
Okay.
I should have already
Thank
done
you.
that, but I was thinking about that.
That's your last
Damn it.
warning on locking your vehicles, by the way.
All right. Whenever you're ready to go by, we'll go.
And just an FYI, for PSO, you definitely are not allowed to set exclusive driver at all. It's actually something new today.
Just don't set it. It's
Yeah, I mean, just
Okay,
if you
like
just
being
just lock your vehicle and don't be dumb.
not that hard. Just lock it.
I mean,
The highway
I-
patrol?
people forget. I mean, all new recruits always forget. I did. I forgot like first 2 weeks, and then after my vehicle got stolen a couple times and I was embarrassed, I stopped doing it.
Hey, let's go the other way on this traffic stop so they can see.
I'm sorry, am I the only one that sees a California Highway Patrol skin?
Yeah.
No,
and
I
then
see it
we're in
too.
Cali again. Let's go.
Because it's the new code for our other charger.
Oh, I see.
316, show me out on a 1050 northbound runway 1 with two-door sports vehicle, occupied ×1. I'm stepping out. Hello, sir. How are you doing today?
Not too bad. How are you?
This is Trooper Keller from the Florida Highway Patrol. Do you know why I pulled you over?
No, sir.
Alrighty, so right back
trying to
there,
train these
I'm
people here,
sitting in
that's
between
how.
medians on Senora Freeway, and I noticed that you were going a little bit above the speed limit. Any idea how fast you were going?
65?
Yeah, you definitely were going 65. I clocked you at 85 back there. Okay, mind if I see your license and registration?
Sure.
Alrighty. All right, sir. Mr. Hobbs, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go back to the vehicle and be right with you. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, so before I even start going any further into this traffic stop, I want you guys to notice the angle of where my vehicle is compared to his. My right headlight is to his left tail light. The
And
reason,
you guys are welcome to walk around as well and check this out.
yeah, you don't have to not be involved here.
322, your vehicle's unlocked.
Can
Purpose
you
of this-
also, sorry,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Oh, could you also break down exactly what you said to the other units then at the beginning?
Yes, I will get to that. Yep. All right, so so the purpose of this is if a vehicle is going high rates of speed and they run into the back of your vehicle, and we just tested this last night, the vehicle will go off this way and not run into you. The worst that could happen is it actually hit the back of the vehicle and the passenger sustains minimal injuries. Another reason that I don't know if you guys noticed, I walked right behind my vehicle. A lot of times on the highways, high rates of speed, the reason we do that is because you don't have a lot of room sometimes to step out this way, and if you do, one, your car's out, and two, if you get hit, well, now we got PCFR and you got to sit in the hospital for a while. So we always will approach on the highway unless you have the room. Again, officer discretion or trooper discretion. You will come from the right hand side. It's just the best possible point of that. Also, if you notice, I stand at the crease of the door. Purpose of this is if he pulls out a gun, he has to reach over, and it gives me the opportunity to get away. So in the RP sense, he gave me his ID. What I always do when I approach, I automatically go, after I ask for the ID, I go into my F6 menu and I check to see if his seatbelt is on or off. In this case, he does have his seatbelt on, so I didn't make any comments about it. So we'll go ahead and make our approach back.
And the other reason to walk around the back of the vehicle too is, and again, he's not squared up, but the other reason is, if I wanted to kill Trooper Keller, it'd be pretty easy for me to just hammer it in reverse, and now you're pinched between both vehicles. So that's another reason, and another reason you don't want to square up as well, because if you're squared up, we have a lot more room. There's a lot more room and a lot more car area for me to squish that trooper behind. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes, sir.
All right, so in this position, I'm kind of RPing. In this way, I can also bring up my CAD because I'm stopped. I can go ahead and I can check his plate. The password for that is Garcia. Don't be afraid to ask. Sometimes it takes some time to memorize that stuff. The way to use the CAD within this, you will put the first 3 letters in all caps, space, and then the 3 numbers. See if the vehicle is registered to him. At most, according to case law, a traffic stop should take no more than 15 minutes, a routine traffic stop, I should say. If you have to call K9 and there's other things, then obviously it's going to take a bit longer. Just as a side note, we're requesting for K9, if you have no probable cause, and we'll go over probable cause later, to believe that they are a drug dealer or any sort of that, legally you cannot hold them or detain them to wait for a K9. So just to let everybody know, if you call K9 and your traffic stop ends, they do not have to wait. All right, so I'll go ahead and get the second part of this. The one thing I'm going to talk about is the secondary approach. Reason secondary approach can be very dangerous is because a lot of times, initially when you walk up, you have no idea who the person is, what they have, or anything like that. When you come back to the vehicle, at that moment, officers now can see your record and stuff like that. We cannot see that, but commonly, we can see the record if you have any bolos out for you, and this becomes the more dangerous part because now, depending on the questions I ask, they can get a little excited, if you will. So I'm gonna go ahead and my second approach. All right, Mr. Hobbs. So today I'm gonna go ahead and write you a citation for speeding 80 miles an hour.
Hey, thank all you guys. I know nobody's watching now, but in case you
don't be afraid
do
also
watch
to
this
pull up the citation
later,
menu.
thanks
If
so
you know
much
what you're
for
going
all
to give
the,
them, you can go ahead and pull that up while you're in your vehicle while their ID is up.
And Errol, thank you so much for the tier 1
I'm going to go ahead and issue a citation today for
I'm going to
speeding
be
about
back
10
on
miles
a
an
lot
hour.
more lately. So
About 10, 20.
Done with my new training and my new job and stuff. So I'll see you
Here's the
guys around
citation
for
for
sure.
you. If you could go ahead for me and sign at the bottom, decision of admission of guilt. All this is stating is that you're signing the ticket, and if you'd like to fight it in court, you can. So if you could sign on the line for me. All right, sir. Here's your license back. Sir, please be careful out here. I don't want to see another person die on the road because they're going too fast. Okay?
Oh, Con, thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
All right, sir.
Now that I'm back,
before you leave, wait till I turn the
I'm
lights
feeling
off.
pretty good, dude.
And then start to pull out, and you can go ahead. Okay.
And that's the other thing too. That's why I cut him off right there, because people will say "Have a good day" and get the hell out of here.
This
You
is
don't
the
want that
guy
to happen because
that
now
told me to come back.
he's wide open for me to do whatever I want. So make sure you add that caveat of wait until I get back in my vehicle and start to pull out before you go.
All right, so I'm going to go
not
ahead
much,
and
man.
I'm going to repeat my
Just,
radio traffic.
Watching these
You're
guys do
basically
this.
saying
I have not. This is
who,
actually
as in
yeah.
you're
Me
establishing
too, man.
who
I'm
you
glad
are
to
on
be
the
back.
radio.
This is the first time I've
316,
actually seen an
what you're
academy
doing.
since my
Show
own
me out on a
academy with
1050
Allwood, and you
where
can imagine what my academy with
northbound
Allwood
runway
was
1.
like.
And then you're going to give the what, which is the
Not
description.
that I don't love Allwood.
of
Allwood, you're a
the
great
vehicle.
guy,
So
but
in this
listening to you
case,
talk,
sometimes if
man,
you have
it's
your,
like
ALPR
the most
up,
boring fucking thing
when
I've
you have the
ever
tag
had to
registered,
experience in my life. For
it will give you
an hour and a
something
half.
like I have a metallic black.
Oh, thanks,
a
man.
two-door
Well, I'm
metallic
back.
black
We're gonna fucking
prairie.
make this a great.
So basically, it would go your
Department,
call sign,
for sure.
where you are.
Sorry, I'm so distracted with
description
Keller
of the
talking in
vehicle,
the background.
and then I didn't say this.
Yeah,
but,
FHP's great, man. This
normally
is
it would go 316
next
show me
level
out on the
shit.
1050
good.
northbound runway 1 with a two-door black vehicle occupied.
I'll be honest
×1,
though, I'm not
no
100%
additionals.
sure
when you say
how
no
effective
additionals,
this by
you are
itself
normally
is.
saying,
I
do not
still
need any
think we need
backup
to have
at
like
this
some.
time.
It'd be cool if we could get these
So
guys
I
to make
didn't
some
say that,
videos
but
about traffic
it
stops
would be a good idea to go
some
ahead and say
basics
that. And
people
then the
can
reason
watch.
we say show me stepping out is now over radio, people know that I am out of my vehicle. So if something happens in between where I step out,
And look at all these recruits
and-
they have, man. They're kicking
and
ass.
before I even call the code 4,
Yeah, I love Keller, man.
then
Keller
they
and I
know
went
that,
through
well,
Academy,
I'm out of
PSO
vehicle.
Academy together.
So right after the
We've
traffic
been
stop is
good
done,
buddies
I'll go
since
ahead and end
both
it.
of us started.
My lights are off. He is free to go. We're going to start pulling out. I'm going to say 316 Tango.
I was
show
so
me code 4
disappointed
from
when
the last
Keller almost got in
1050,
trouble
show me
recently.
back
I'm
10-8.
glad that
And all that is
shit all
saying
worked
is
out.
code 4 is the scene is clear. And
Yeah,
10-8
we need
is
some
I'm back
videos. Just
available
not a bunch
in
of shit,
service.
but a few. And it'd be nice if we could get like a one unified area that all this shit
Yeah,
lived.
we'll put it in the chat if any of you need it. Again, we don't expect
I already
your radio
have
traffic
the.
to be
I have a
perfect. It's
different,
super
a
weird
completely
to do
different
radio
and
traffic
new
'cause you're not
website
used to it. So
that I put up. That's
once
just
you do it
training
a couple
only.
of times, it just becomes second nature.
And I've already started working on
Any
that
questions?
this week. And
Oh,
then
yeah, I
we'll
got
talk
one.
about what's going to
Go
go in it.
Do you have to say 1050? Can you just be like, like for instance, 325 dispatch, show me on a traffic stop?
So yes, we do encourage trying to know the 10 codes, but like if you're fumbling over yourself, because that can happen when you're new, just use the like just basic language. So 316 Tango, show me out on the traffic stop northbound Senora Freeway. So exactly kind of how you did it. And be careful, we don't have a dispatch yet. I know some of you are coming from a different server, but unless someone checks in for dispatch, someone did the other night. It was kind of neat, but then we called out to dispatch. But in this, we don't have a dispatcher, so we just give what we're doing so that people know.
And if I can just piggyback on that,
Dispatch.
just real quick too, is, you know, the main thing is that the information gets out there. You know, where you are, what you're doing, you know, and you know, as long as you put that information out there and it's understandable, then no one minds you not using codes. But you should definitely learn them because a lot of people use them, and they're going to be asking for stuff in the radio. And if you have to like stop and look up all the codes, it's going to be difficult. You know what I did, because I had to relearn them too, because I was never a cop or anything. I was a pilot years ago, so I know all the pilot stuff, but I know none of the 10 codes. I just have it open on a secondary screen somewhere, and I just had to drill them into my brain.
Are they listed? Are they like in a Google Doc or something?
Actually, I can give you this website. Hopewell put it together.
Yeah, that's the site I like to give out to.
Then
Hopefully.
like another
You're
thing
awesome.
is like I used to play an LEO on Arma, and criminals on
Yeah,
there,
for sure, man.
they can actually have radios. So, like that's the whole point of using 10 codes.
Yeah, because I think honestly,
Like,
dude,
people
I
are
would be
gonna
really good at
listening to
doing
us on the radios.
administration and training and stuff like that, and making
So like
you know,
if you have to say
making
traffic
sure people
stop
have
instead of a
tools that they need. I'd
1050,
be good at that. I don't really
Yeah,
know
it
what
just
else
makes
I
it
want to
different
do.
because radios are public knowledge. I can listen to them right now.
That's why every
So
time
when
I'm
you're in
talking
your
about
10
running a
codes,
division or
hits you,
something, I can never
you
really
actually
find
click the
anything that
little
I'm
button
that
of your
interested
mouse,
in.
and it will open up a screenshot of those 10 codes, so it's easier to read. Commonly, if I were you, things I would learn are signal 4s, because we say signal 4 a lot in our 1031s, and signal 11 just because there's a lot of civs that go ghost and they're not there anymore. So we use signals, but it's not as often as we do 10 codes. So
Use 2 signals to be exact.
yeah.
Of all the 10 codes, 50, 97, and then your basics, 10.8, 1037, 1038, 10.7, 10.6. Those are pretty much...
Yeah,
the
so
ones you can
basically
hear
my
most.
my
You
whole
hear like a
thing
54
with
once
the
in a while,
separate
you hear
roles and ranks
31
within the
pretty
PSO is
commonly as well.
1015.
I would I
But,
you know I don't really know what I want to do.
you know,
Like I
two
thought about
11s
maybe
could
trying to learn
flash.
K9 and
So
try to
that's
run
the-
K9 and run
those are
another
the
subdivision,
big
but I just
hitters.
I'm not sure I need more work right now.
They're
Because I have
green,
these other
it's
things
good.
that I want to do that I think once
Reds,
people
the
see
reason
them, they're
they're
going to be
in
like,
reds is
oh,
because
wait, yeah,
that's
this is
like
way better
holy
than
crap.
this is not what I was
That's the
thinking.
most one you
So
need to get there.
I want to
don't
really
even have
focus
10
on
codes up
getting
anymore because I've
that
been
new
using
site
all
up
of them
and
because
getting
I'm
some
in
stuff
LEO.
up there so people
Right.
stop being
I mean,
resistant and they can just
you
go,
know,
oh,
you're not
wait,
gonna-
this is really fucking cool.
Been here for
They
a
just
while. I've been
trying
here for
to
1046,
articulate something, you know,
1048.
verbally is
No,
difficult.
but they are 10 codes.
So it'll
about,
just be good when I can actually have something
shots
for
fired?
people to see.
Shots fired is usually shots fired.
All right, see ya.
Just say
Okay.
shots
Get
fired.
your ass here.
Yeah, because I don't know about you, but when I'm being shot at, I'm not worrying about no 10 code. I just
Nope.
know I'm being shot at. that's all I need to tell you. I'm
Okay,
not worried
cool.
about that.
I have another question about the.
Signal
Oh, go ahead.
55S
Yeah,
technically,
I
but
was gonna
that's
say, it's
longer
even
than
worse.
shots fired. So 1013.
What was your question?
All right, so it's basically another shooting question. So say you're walking up to the traffic stop, you go to the window, but he starts shooting at you. Like, how would you put it on the radio? Like you're already getting shot at.
Shots
Well,
fired.
I
Slash
can
P.
actually answer that. It shouldn't have even happened if you just walk up to the radio. There's no initialization for that. It's borderline fail RP, so the civs will not be doing it.
So in the event
they
it does
will, though.
happen,
I know.
me and
Please don't say
Hopewell
things
have
like
been-
they won't
me
be
and
doing it.
Hopewell have been blown away on our motorcycles. We literally, I'm calling out, and I get to show us out on the 1050, and he starts shooting. Literally. So at that point, I say shots fired, and I give it to him. Dead body right there. No more.
If they do that, you should tell us.
Say less.
I will say here, I'll put that with a caveat. There has to be some sort of previous interaction. There has to be some sort of RP reason. If they're just shooting you to shoot you, that is not an RP.
Jesus. Jesus Christ, we get it. You want him dead. We know.
Is there a panic button?
There is
Here,
a
do you-
panic button.
Hey, I have a
Do
hatchet
not-
over here. Do you
not
wanna-
this,
you want
please,
it?
But you
I was
type
about to hit it.
slash P, press enter. Do not do that right now.
All right, so I'm gonna do it so you know what it sounds like, but just don't do it. I'm gonna do it so you can hear it. Every single one of you will get an alert on your phone. It will say code 3, distress. Click on it, GPS, and go. Code 3, get there. There's a yes. Hopewell will be spamming her panic button very often, so be ready for it.
Yeah, and I mean that's when you
Just
hear
like
that
in the
too,
others.
you'll get to know that sound because whatever you're doing, if you're going to RP your way out of it, and you're gonna get to that officer as soon as possible because they need you.
Unless, let me say this now, and I will preface this, and I swear to God if you do this, hold on for the question. If a 211 arises and you have a drunk driver and he is right there,
Yeah.
you go to the 211. You do not listen. There are certain things that take priority over stuff like that. There's not very many, but if you have a guy in custody, or you have somebody who is a drunk driver and could harm somebody else, get them to the PD, book them, and then you just go run traffic at the 211. I'm gonna be honest with you. When we do 211s, there's already 18 people responding anyway. If you don't respond because you have somebody that's drunk, you'll be fine. I promise.
Now remember, now let's not get confused this though. So, 211's one thing. This is an officer needs assistance call that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So that's the
and
only
there's
thing.
There's a better way to generalize this.
Yeah.
Everyone should be responding to a 1013. It is the highest priority call. It is mandatory to respond to it unless you have someone in your custody.
Yes.
If you have a prisoner in custody, or in this case, a drunk driver in your custody, you need to take care of your RP situation first. You should finish jailing them, finish taking them to jail or whatever. You don't need to call it out, you just need to do it. If a problem arises where someone's like, hey, why didn't you respond to the 1013? Just explain. It's not that hard.
Just
You
put it in
understand.
your report.
Yeah.
If
'cause-
you put it in your report, it helps.
Yeah, and it's really more aimed at like if you're in the middle of an RP situation where Molly's giving you her latest rundown, her latest boyfriend debacle or whatever. It's time to like say, hey, Molly, I gotta go and go because your RP situation in that case is not gonna outweigh. And I've seen, and I tell you, and Keller, I'm sure you've seen it too. Nothing pisses us off more as supervisors than to see you guys hanging out at Legion when we know that there's an officer assistance call or some other call that takes higher priority. And you'd have to remember part of your RP is like RP and the fact that you're at work. You know what I mean? So go do your damn job.
I can tell you this. I have let people go. I have let multiple people go with a confirmed already stolen vehicle because a 1013 comes out. That's how important that is. They weren't in custody yet. I did not have them arrested, but the vehicle had been ran. The 1013 came out, and that was their lucky day. So that's how important that 1013 is to get to. If that should clear up.
Question?
So add the question? Yeah, go ahead.
So whenever you're doing this whole traffic stop, you're calling out where this is happening, but how do we actually know where it's happening?
So do you see all the little blips on the map? Oh, get my vehicle real quick. Whoever's asking the question. Get my vehicle real quick. Alright, you see the GPS come up? Do you see the GPS bottom left?
No.
Alright, so
Use a
all of you,
GPS.
yeah, all of you will have a GPS whenever you get in a vehicle or anything like that. There will be a ton of blue blips everywhere. Usually, once you get to know the highways and you get to know the city, it's easier to pinpoint if they're saying northbound Strawberry Ave. I know where Strawberry Ave is, so I'm going to look at Strawberry Ave, look for their blip. I go up to them, and you can even look in your map. If you go on your map right now, because you have a LEO job, you can see all the blue blips sitting right in front of the hangar. Those will tell you individually who they are. Like I can see right now, Hobbs, Hopewell, Taylor,
Oh,
S.
and if you're calling out your badge number, you can just literally click on the person.
Correct. It's that easy to do. All right, so
Okay,
this
cool.
next, so any other questions before we move on to felony stops?
Nope.
Go ahead.
Are we gonna be able to practice some of these?
Yes. There's a lot of you, so we may do them. Go ahead, Hopewell. Were you gonna say
go
something?
ahead.
Oh, okay. So, what? First things first is I want to get through felony stops and I want to get through 1050s before we do this because there are a bunch of us. We'll kind of figure out how to do that after we do felony stops. Normally, there's only like 2 or 3 people in the academy. Now we literally have 7, so it's hard to do every single one individually. A lot of that may have to be done with your FTO. Let's get through felony stops, and then we'll see where we're at time-wise, and then we'll go from there because we still have a good portion to cover.
What we're gonna do for that, I think, is we're gonna split off into 2 groups, just divide them up equally and do practice rounds at the same time.
In case
in
you
separate
guys
channels.
haven't figured this out yet,
so
we're
just go
actually
ahead and look at it from
attending
here
an
and you
academy. We've got 1 new recruit over here for the
Alright, so go
PSO,
ahead. I
and
need
our
either a
FHP
deputy or
is running
trooper
our
in another
academy,
vehicle.
so we're
Actually,
just kind of
share
sitting
it
through
behind
it.
me, we'll do that.
I got you.
All right, so we're gonna make this a 1031V, and then he's going to stop, and I'm gonna request for a felony stop, and then you guys are gonna see how we do felony stops here. All right, so who's driving the vehicle?
It's gonna be
Hobbs.
Kilo
Hobbs, okay.
2. Okay. Yep.
All right, and Kilo 2. All right, Hobbs, go ahead and send it. Maybe you're ready, Hobbs. Are you not gonna 1031B?
No, we can go.
All right.
Cars
Come on, 1031B heading southbound, runway 1 with the black 2-door vehicle. Looks to be occupied ×1. We're still proceeding northbound, taking a left south, runway 1. Left, now heading north, runway 1. It's going to be a 1050. Show us at a felony stop. Question additional. Crap, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, guys. All right. So you go.
God
you go
damn,
lead, so
those
I'll go
Chargers
down
are
lead,
hot, man.
and
So
we'll
much
step
better than
on through,
ours.
okay?
Yep, 10-4.
All right. Hold on, I have my. There we go. All right. And 1, 2, 3. Passenger, stick your left hand out the vehicle and step out of the vehicle now. Driver,
Passenger. Go ahead.
stick your left hand out of the vehicle and step out now. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Flex your V muscle. Go through your eyes and step backwards towards my voice. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Stop. Step to the right. 1. All right, good. Keep coming. Keep coming back. Keep coming back. Keep coming back. Stop. Go ahead and watch the vehicle. Nope.
Killer 2,
You
go
should
ahead
be
and
watching
go.
the vehicle. Keep watching the vehicle. All right.
All right, let's
cuffs.
stop. Let's
Yeah,
stop
he
for a
made a
second.
mistake there. 'Cause he-
There's already a lot going on with this. Frank, first of all, when you step out, keep your door open. Press and hold in order to do that. To keep your door open when you
yeah,
step out. press
that
and
door,
hold
that door is his barrier.
Secondary, whoever is in Frank's position should be lethal because they have the better shot. You guys all noticed how the primary called that out. The lethal or the secondary should always keep their eye on the vehicle while the primary is giving instructions because they do not. That car is not clear yet, so they should be keeping their eye on the vehicle. And then primary will be guiding them back until they reach the edge of the car. That should be the front bumper of the secondary. If you keep guiding them back, they'll go too far, and then suddenly you're out in danger of yourself, and you're not behind the car's cover. You guys can continue.
Alrighty. Hands up. Going in for cuffs. I'm gonna grab your arms here. I'm set you in my vehicle for our safety. Passenger, step out of the vehicle. Sir, stop changing seats. Put your hands up. Put your hands up now. Hands up. Face away from me. Flex your V muscle, go in your eyes. You're gonna step in front of the vehicle and turn around. You're gonna go around the front of the vehicle, facing away from me. Stop. Come back to the sound of my voice, slowly. Slowly.
These guys are good.
Nope. Go to your right.
He's handling it right.
Right. Stop. Come back. To the right. Keep going right. Stop. Come back slowly. Slowly. Secondary, keep watching car. Come back. Come back, sound of my voice now. Slowly. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Now stop. Hit T and flex your /HUK muscle. Going for cuffs, secondary, keep eyes on car.
10-4.
Put you back in my vehicle here. Secondary, do you see anybody else in the vehicle?
Killer 2 negative. I don't see nobody else in the vehicle. I'm gonna go ahead and start pushing up.
Wait, hold on. Wait for me. Hold on.
10-4.
I'm gonna go lethal here. Wait till I step back in my car, and then we'll go ahead and move up. Watch cross. All right, you ready? 3, 2, 1.
Because they don't know if somebody could be in that back seat. They don't know if there's someone else in the vehicle somewhere.
Vehicle clear.
Vehicle clear.
All right. So
Now-
one thing I didn't do there, and I literally just thought about it. I did ask him if he saw anybody else in the vehicle, but what I probably should have done was say, if there's anyone else in the vehicle, now put your hand out the vehicle and step out. Something like that. A lot of times people will duck and you actually can't see them because the interior is black. Or there will literally be a tinted window that's so black that you can't see through it. So, once you've done this, usually I like to call through radio. I'll say 316 Tango, show 2 suspects in custody. The scene is code 4, and then I'll normally just code 4 it, and then ask the other deputy or trooper on scene to hang out while we're interrogating them, just so people know that we're no longer under threat and we're safe, if that makes sense.
Can I also point something else out here too, real quick?
Yep, go.
So you guys see how our vehicles are in a V shape? That's kind of how you guys want to do stuff. When you're on a code 5 like that, and try to keep it as close as possible, so that way you have, he can get out of his vehicle and you can be safe out of it as well.
Now, hopefully in a perfect world, his car is on the side of the road where it's nice and neat. I'm a little OCD, so if we had that right, I would be angled more like this, and Frank would be a little closer, so that was a straight shot from the door to the back of our vehicles. That's a perfect world, and that doesn't always happen. So
Also, just to add to, and you may have done this and you just didn't mention, is if you're going to place somebody in the back of your car, make sure you know what's on them. You don't want to put somebody that's got a weapon on them in the back of your vehicle.
I'd have to disagree with that.
Really?
If
Well,
for
that's how we were
somebody-
trained. That's how we were trained. So.
If you're clearing a car, you don't really have time to search them and then put them in the back of your car realistically. So if you need to just place them in your car for now, or place them behind your car, better yet, like they did with Matthews back there who's still kneeling, I'd prefer you do that instead of like taking the time to search them and then going back to the car.
In an ideal world, sometimes if you have 3 on scene, you can go ahead.
I mean,
and
they're
you can
probably
ask someone
correct.
else to take primary, and then that primary can go ahead and take. I mean, if you're.
But
worried so much about that person being armed,
I've had people come
in
down
an
on me
ideal
for
world,
that.
If there's 3 people there, you get another person to take primary for the other person, and make sure that they don't have anything lethally on them that could hurt you. But that's very, 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 very rare and few and far in between. So normally just put them in the back of their either behind or in the back of the vehicle. Normally I'll do the back like behind here, so that it's not so they can't necessarily directly like stand up and do anything to me if they tried. So all right. Any questions on that? Go ahead.
So backing up a little bit to the normal traffic stops, if you pull somebody over and you find out that the license plate has a bolo
I don't care
out
how
on
she
it,
do it.
you just
It don't have to
automatically
be my way.
request additionals before you even approach?
I would suggest, and we will cover this kind of in our training a little bit, if you feel at any moment that you don't really feel good about this traffic stop, go ahead and ask for an additional.
Okay.
Usually what will happen is on the highway, if there's 2 people in the vehicle, or even if there's any more than 2, ask for an additional no matter what. But if it's 2 people, then it's your discretion.
Okay. And then, are we gonna go more into how to look up warrants and bolos and whatnot?
Yes. So warrants are approved by the BOD. We can't see those, so that is issued. What will happen is when you guys are assigned your Discord stuff, there will be through the police RP channel within or law enforcement RP channel, there will actually come out to where the chief of police has issued a warrant for so-and-so, and then that will be broadcasted public. We can't necessarily see the warrants because our CAD's not that way. Anything other than that, when you're in your vehicle during a 1050, pull up the Discord, go to active bolo list, and you can actually just scroll through. Again, take your time. Time is on your side, so within that 15 minutes, make sure you're hitting, you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's. You've said what you need to say. You're now back at your car. You're checking your CAD system, and you're just making sure that you have everything that you need. Now, here's the only thing with the CAD. The CAD is only activatable when, I don't know if that's a word, but that's what I'm saying, by when stopped. And the only problem is you can only access it by Y, and it turns your lights off. So you could be sitting here with your lights on, and at 1050, all of a sudden you hit your CAD, your lights go off. So you need to make sure that you turn them on right away once you do that. Any other questions?
It'd be great if somebody could come up and cut me.
No, I think you're good. You can chill.
All
right, does
bolos
Grubhub
and
do it now?
warrants are gonna be on the Discord.
It's okay.
Bolos will be on the Discord. Warrants will be announced by BOD or from a command staff person that we are going to serve a warrant.
It ends up being more like a server event, so
Correct.
if we'll start pulling cops in. If there's a warrant on the server, we'll pull cops in, and BOD will pull cops in.
And then, how do you access CAD again?
Why? When you're stopped.
Yeah, you have to actually be in the vehicle.
Person with hand raised, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
How would you call for an additional on the how would you call for one?
So if you come back, so don't be afraid to use the radio, by the way. Just make sure that you're being professional on the
I
radio.
just have to look.
So you called your 1050, the person's pulled over, you're scrolling and checking through the bolo list, and you see somebody. You say, this is 316, looking through the bolos here, and I found a bolo matching a Earl sweatshirt. Please roll me an additional at this time. I'll wait till I get out. This is going to be a felony stop. At that point, you can really start to get through that, because you, again, first things first, you can, if you want, once you pull them over, you can pull the CAD open and check the plate before you step out, but that's fully up to you. It does definitely help as far as everybody knows who Earl Sweatshirt is. We'll stop it right there. But anywho, so yeah, you can check the plate if you like in the first place before you even step out, or once you get back and you check and you see that there's a bolo, then you can do so. Normally I will go up initially and just talk to them first, because theoretically I don't know who I'm speaking to, so I approach it as I don't know who this is. So I'll walk up, I'll always say, "Hello sir, how you doing today?" And they'll say I'm fine, or something to that manner, and then I'll introduce myself and start my traffic stop. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Are there any more questions? I actually like the fact that it's raining, because it's good to see the difference in the handling of the vehicles. So this is a good thing. All right, so if there's no more questions, Hopewell, if you'd like to divide us up so that we can get teams to get these 1050s rolling,
Sure.
we can.
Matthews, I'm gonna have you and Keller each lead one, if you don't mind.
Yep.
FTOs and others, please divvy yourself up as appropriate. People who are not FTOs, I'd prefer if you guys were the drivers being pulled over, like Mike and Bryant and Hobbs. Just try to act as soon as possible. Going with Keller is going to be John S., Buckley, and Jones. Mario T., Campbell, and Shofsky will be going with Matthews. Keller will be moving channels. I'll move you guys right quick. You guys are just basically going to be going through your own felony stops.
And Frank, if you guys want to do the felony stop, I can be the driver. I just need to get a vehicle.
Yep. And if there's can we get like 2, maybe 3 people to go down with Keller?
Yeah, I can go down.
All right. And maybe 1 more.
Hey, baby, would you do this? Sorry,
I'll go. down.
Here, actually, I'll do a chalupa, and then another chalupa.
Alrighty, if you're a recruit, go ahead and follow the Crown Vic.
Here we go.
We're gonna get away from Keller's group.
Yeah, I'll just take everything off this Explorer over here.
Yeah, hopefully you're on my car still.
And just go ahead and line up like I am. So just follow me and just line up bumper to bumper right here.
Wait, which one is Matthew?
In the Crown Vic.
I'm
Lights
just gonna
on.
stay still. This is a clusterfuck. Heather, are you still here?
Yeah, I just came back. I'm telling the Keller's group's gonna come back to the hangar.
Gotcha.
Alrighty.
I got a question for you real quick.
Go ahead.
You want me to do the secondary stuff for him? You pretty much know what you're doing.
What?
You want me to work as a secondary unit?
We'll be interchanging secondaries as a felony stop. You get practice as primary and secondary.
This is you to my left, right?
Tolbert,
Hey.
you don't really need practice, but if you want to hop in, you can go ahead.
I'll just be on standby as a secondary for the first one.
Sounds good.
Alrighty,
Hey,
Hobbs, go ahead and pull over beside all the cars here so they can all see. I'll be pulling you over. We're just gonna do a mock 1050. I'm gonna show you guys another example.
Okay.
Do you guys want to put us in a different channel and have us do it, or actually, do you guys already have somebody matched up for the PSO?
You're
guys?
gonna need to use the TeamSpeak channel to speak to him anyway. The in-game voice is fucked on this server.
Alrighty, so 330, 1050, westbound, runway 1 with a black 2-door car, occupy 1 time. Then what I normally do now is I'll pull up my CAD, I'll run the plate of that vehicle, and I'll check the bolo list so I know who's in there even before I step out of the vehicle. One thing I do want to point out is as you're going over angling the vehicles and stuff, a good tip, just to make it easier for you, is your front right headlight should be angled at their back left tail light. And this is if you have room to do so. If you do not have room, then of course you'll just have to pull right behind them. We do that a lot in the city because there's not a lot of room. But on the highways, they have a wide shoulder, so it's a lot easier to do so. And then of course, what I normally do almost all the time is I'll approach from the passenger side because it's safer for me. So I'll walk around my vehicle, walk up to the car here. I'll stop at the pillar, of course, like Keller stated previously, and I'll introduce myself. So I'll be like, "How's it going, sir? I'm Lieutenant Matthews of the Florida High Patrol. Do you know why I'm stopping you this evening?"
Probably because I was going a little fast back there.
"Yes, sir. You're going 75 and a 65. That's 10 over."
Guess I'll have to get my cruise fixed. I had it set at 72, but that's okay.
Do you have a ID on you, sir?
Sure do.
Alright, perfect. Go ahead and hand it over to me.
Here you go, sir.
Alright, Mr. Hobbs. And I'm gonna do an example. This happens a lot. People either have a medical marijuana license or a concealed carry permit, so I'll ask them, "Hey, I see you have a concealed carry permit. Do you have a weapon located on your person or in the vehicle anywhere?"
Yes, sir, I do. It is on my right hip.
Okay, so just don't touch that for me, and I won't have to touch mine, of course. I don't want to have a problem here.
You got it, sir.
Alright, sir. We'll just sit tight for me, and I'll be right back with all the information.
Okay.
Then I'll walk back to my vehicle, of course, walk all the way around, because if I walk in between the two, he might try to reverse and break my legs, and then we're gonna have a problem.
Can I put something in real quick regarding the licenses and stuff?
Yep, go ahead.
Unlike California, you're not required to actually state to a law enforcement officer if you have a firearm in the state of Florida, so just keep that in mind.
Alright, so I'll be back here, and I'll be deciding what I want to do, so write him a ticket, give him a verbal warning, or if I need to, I'll request another unit, so if we need to arrest him for anything. But of course now he just was speeding 10 over, so I'm just going to give him a verbal. Alright, Mr. Hobbs, here's all your information back. I appreciate your cooperation. I'm just gonna let you off with a verbal warning, okay? Just make sure you keep it slowed down here on the highway. Also, it's raining. I don't want you to slide or hit another vehicle, okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
No problem. You have a good one, and you're free to leave once you get back to my vehicle, okay?
Alright, sounds good. And truly, most of the time when you stop a civ, most of the time, you're gonna end up either A, laughing, or 2, it's gonna go just as smooth as that one did. Because most of the saves on just your general traffic stop aren't gonna be that big of assholes. So just keep that in mind too.
Keyword is most, or key phrase is most of the time.
It happens. It happens. But, you know, like we had...
These guys didn't pull me down, so I'm listening to that traffic stop that's happening over there, even though I'm standing here.
So you will hear things
That was 2 cats,
that.
actually.
2 cats.
Can't get
You
in
will
the
hear
other
things
room.
like that, and it will make you laugh hysterically. And that's, you know, the general consensus
The F is not.
of a lot of stops around here.
Quick question. What's the password for the CAD?
Garcia.
All lowercase.
All lowercase.
Hey, can I risk the
GARCIA. Yep, go ahead.
Alright,
Also, Allwood works all lowercase
Well,
as
I
well.
want you to be here for everyone, so. If anyone else is to use the restroom or grab something to drink, go ahead and do so now.
By the way, check your inventories and make sure you have food and water. We don't want you to faint.
Hey, can somebody move me down to the other channel, please? I don't have the password.
Because I know I'm about to starve to death.
I don't even think the shop works on the server.
But of course it doesn't.
Can somebody move me down to the other channel? I do not have the password for it.
I don't have it for it either, so I can't move you to it.
Jesus Christ.
I'll tell Heather to move you.
S or whatever your name is, from the Pasco County
There
Sheriff's
we go.
Department.
Okay.
You can literally say, "Hey, this is Deputy John from Pasco County Sheriff's Department." You literally can say
That works too. Yep, that works too.
Hi.
What's your name, guy?
It's Deputy John with the Pasco Sheriff's Department.
Well, you sound nervous. You're all right.
Yeah, I'm good. Do you know why I pulled you over today?
Actually, my guy over here, I mean, he's a stud. I don't know why you pulling him over.
Yeah,
Mike, can you
Keller.
believe this guy's pulling us over today.
It's unbelievable.
Well, I saw
I
you
can't believe I've
going,
been missing this.
85 and that 65 back
This guy's
there.
nervous in the service,
Any
man.
reason why you did that?
Oh,
I
that's
don't
him.
think this taxi could even do 85.
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
Oh, I didn't know my taxi here could do 85.
Well, that's what I clocked you at.
This thing was rattling like crazy just doing 60, but okay.
Alright, can I get your license and registration?
Sure.
Are you dumb? What's wrong with you? Come on, speak up.
I said, can I get your license?
Who, mine or his?
The driver's.
All right, so I'm gonna stop right here. Just so you know, you cannot. So, if he does show ID, you have to be in a certain proximity. So you can walk around the other side to get his ID, but if you're going to do a traffic stop and try to get his ID, you're not going to be able to get it through your F6 menu unless you will have him walk in the front of the vehicle. Never walk in front of the vehicle. I see what you're about to do, and don't walk in between the vehicles. But for the sake of this, just get on that side and continue the traffic stop. All right, so go ahead and resume.
Seems like, where'd your driver go?
What the
I guess
fuck
the
just
combat
happened,
logged.
boys? No. We're all still here, dude. All the cars just despawned behind me.
What's the command to move over?
Are you guys still there?
T-shuffle.
Mike.
Yeah, /SHUFF.
Mike.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, Mike disconnected.
I don't know what happened. I think I froze.
You said it's SHUFF, right?
Yeah. Technical difficulties. Oh, well, the car disappeared.
It sure did. There we go.
Yeah, my bad, boys. I crashed.
Cop pulled over a cop.
All right, so let's get this traffic stop going. All right, so I'm gonna show you my ID.
Alright, so it's gonna be Steve Keller.
Yes, sir. Can we hurry this up? I gotta be at work soon, so can you hurry?
Yes, yeah, and then,
Wow, that's rude. You just walked away. Hey, guy, I got something for you. Yeah, so while you're RPing your traffic stop, John, have a little more confidence, man. It's okay. You're not. If you mess up, I know you're nervous. It's all right. It's part of the academy.
Yeah, did we go over the, looking up names and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
yeah, so normally in the traffic stop, you would look at the bolo list on TeamSpeak. Or on
So I listened to that, yeah.
So in this sense, because we're just practicing 1050s, you're just going to come back and go ahead and just write me the citation for speeding.
Okay.
But normally, yes, you would look up my info and check the bolo list.
Yeah, and the way you look up the info is you hit the Y button, and then you put in the password, which is lowercase Garcia, and then you can compare his tag with the ALP, what's coming up on the LPR, what you can see visually, to what comes up you know, who's registered that vehicle.
Alright.
Did you figure out how to get the cat open?
Yeah.
Cool. Don't, and you know what? And at the same time, like, if he's giving you pressure, I'm in a hurry. Well, it's tough. You know what I mean? He's got to wait, and he's got to sit there and let you do your thing. They don't get to leave because it takes a while. Yeah.
You're doing your job.
Good.
Yep.
If he wanted to be on time, he should have followed the law.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wish this guy could hurry up. He's taking forever.
And they'll do that too. They'll be like little shitheads to you too. You know.
This is why I like a cat, because
when I put my seatbelt off, it puts my sirens on.
So you press U on the keyboard. So I would suggest that you integrate and practice doing controller and keyboard, so that you can do interactions on foot on keyboard and then driving with controller.
Let's just can we just get this poor guy through a traffic stop first?
So I ran your information. You're clean. I am gonna write you a citation for doing the 85 and 65 back there.
How fast is that over?
It'll be 20 over.
Oh man.
So
Mike, you're screwed. That's a lot of money.
That's bullshit. I'm just trying to go get my pedicure.
So yeah, would you please sign active on my ticket? And
there we go.
Alright, you're free to go whenever I get back to my vehicle. Check my lights off, then you could go.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, officer. He's kind of cute. I like him.
He is kind of cute, you know that?
Alright, so good
Keller's
job.
playing himself, everyone.
Good job. I just think just a little bit more confidence and you'll be okay. I understand.
Yeah,
it's
it's
your
just
first
that
one.
there's a lot of people here.
Yeah,
Correct.
it's
okay.
nerve-wracking as shit. I remember the first time I had to do that, and Keller and I had to do it at the same time, and we were like, oh god.
Well, imagine being at Legion Square with 20 people behind you trying to do a 1050.
Oh yeah, dude. And you wait until you have to do that, and then you got dudes walking up on you, and then you got the guy in the back seat who's talking shit, and then, you know, then some other deputy calls up, hey man, what's going on? Like it becomes madness. You'll after a while though, you'll be able to do it all.
You'll end up getting a lot of voices in your head at once. It's you'll get used to it though.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Go ahead and back up into the line and let me get Buckley.
I got you, man.
Alright, so you can just pull behind us.
Poor guy.
Do what you need to do. Get
He's
your car
nervous as
position.
shit. Little does he know that he's also watching. He's got 4 more people watching him on here. Then he's got an additional probably 10 or 15 in other streams watching him. So he's probably got a grand total of like 20, 30 people watching him at this point.
What's this guy doing? He knows we're pulled over, right?
I think so.
Sir. Sir, turn your sirens off. It's loud. What are you doing? Sir, your sirens are loud. Do you know that?
Sir, get back in your car.
What do you mean, get back in my vehicle?
Sir, get back in the vehicle.
Why?
324. I'm requesting additional units here.
Go ahead and roll it. What do you want me to do?
Sir, please step back in the vehicle.
Okay, you don't have to use that. I got it. Jeez.
So, at this point, I don't really know how to proceed here, because wouldn't I wait for other people? Like...
Yeah, but just keep going like you didn't ask for additional.
Okay. Okay.
Because obviously we want to get through this.
Okay. Sounds good.
Oh no, here comes your additional right now. There's your additional.
Hey,
see, you gotta love Frank.
Hey, how's it going, Frank? Just go ahead and watch this. Give me some backup here. This one guy on the passenger side, he's a little crazy.
10-4, I got you, Becky.
Okay, man. How we doing today? Could we go ahead and get you to turn the engine off?
Ooh. This guy's serious.
It's awfully cold out there, Master. I'd rather keep the heater on.
Oh, you're gonna have to keep that off. Alright, this is Trooper Buckley with the Florida Highway Patrol. You know why I'm pulling you over?
Oh, Keller, you're fucking cracking me up, brother. It's funny.
You noticed that whenever you were merging onto the freeway back there that there was a yield sign.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, you almost cut somebody off and he almost ran into you because of that, bud.
Oh, I apologize.
That's
We were
alright.
just trying to go for a rip, you know what I mean?
I'm not exactly sure what that means, and I'm not going to question it, but can I go ahead and see your license and registration, sir?
Sure, here you go. You mind if I get your number?
Yeah, my badge number is 324. You guys hang tight, alright?
Alright, so just continue the RP scene. Just again, to reiterate. No, go ahead like you're going back to your car. You're
okay.
Good. So if you get F6 menu and you're on the driver's side, and I'm sitting here, you're going to get my ID, not the driver. So make sure that... Make sure sometimes you'll say, sir, if you could just step out of the vehicle for me and come off to the side. You can do that. You are permitted to ask them. They're currently detained because you have them pulled over. So you can pull them to the side of the shoulder if you need to, if you have room to kind of conduct your traffic stop.
Gotcha.
I mean, some of them will even try to give you pushback, but most of the civs know that from a mechanic's point of view, they actually have to step out sometimes. And the people that, you know, most of the time they'll be cool with it. They won't be like all twitchy and nervous.
Mm.
Sometimes they'll even ask you, am I under arrest? No, you're good. I just need you to step to the side here.
Alright, listen here, guys. You've been very cooperative, very polite. Alright, just be careful next time, okay? I'm just gonna let you go with a verbal warning, okay? Just stay safe, okay?
Very nice.
Thank you, officer.
Alright, you guys are free to go after I turn off my lights and I pull out.
Alright.
Never mind, I'm not gonna make that comment. Alright, good job.
My God, Keller, Jesus.
I almost went there. I literally mentally almost made that comment. Alright, so good job. We will pull out this moment. What would you say after you pulled out after you've pulled out, and then what's the radio traffic?
Oh, shit. I'm not exactly sure how to say that I'm done with it, but I would say that 324, I'm 10-8.
Yep, that you could say that again. That's the basic part of it, but is the technical part is the 324. Show me code 4 from that last 1050 back to 8, and that gives the opportunity for 1 kilo 2 to then say 1 kilo 2 same traffic.
Well, that was way what?
So you're gonna code 4. So you're gonna come on. You're gonna say your number 324. Show me code 4, which is seen as clear, off that 1050. 1050 being the traffic stop.
Mm-hmm.
Show me code 4 of that last 1050. Show me back 10-8, back in service.
Okay.
And then what would usually happen is if you have an additional, they'll come back with their call sign and say same traffic.
Kilo 2, same traffic.
Exactly. All right, so last one's Jones, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, man, pull on up on it.
All right.
But like, would that be acceptable if like they were super chill and all they did was like fail to yield at a sign? Like,
oh yeah, it's really officer discretion, because it again, if they're doing 30-40 over, I mean,
yeah.
So, but in that case, it's really your discretion, with the exception of certain calls such as like, you know, drunk driving and stuff like that. But if they're speeding, you know, 15 over. Like I've let people go from GTA calls because they were new to the city, because I put a community aspect with it too, because I don't want to just make their first experience in the community them spending 15 minutes in jail. So I pulled somebody over, he stole a vehicle, and I told him, I said, listen, I'm going to go ahead and write you all the citations, but I am not going to take you to jail because I don't want that to be your first experience. So again, that was more of because though I had another person there with me to witness that. They understood the claim and all that other stuff. But normally if it's a GTA and it's a civ and all that other stuff, we had already been on a 1031V. So, all right, so you can go ahead and pull us over whenever you're ready.
All right.
You can come after us.
That officer doesn't even have his
342 gonna be
headlights on.
342 gonna be 1050 at airport runway 1 with a gray 4-door sedan, 2 occupants, no additionals needed.
Sounds good. At nighttime, I would encourage you to turn your high beams on if you can.
Yeah.
But that's up to you. Keep going.
All right.
What was that, Mike? I didn't hear you.
Oh, nothing.
How's
Yo,
it going
who the heck
today?
is this guy?
I'm Trooper Jones with Florida Highway Patrol.
Hey, cutie.
How's your day going today?
Oh, it could have been better if I didn't get pulled over.
Yeah, do you know why I'm stopping you today?
No.
Well, you were going 75 and a 65.
75? That's bullshit.
Well, that's what I clocked you at, so I'm gonna stand by that, alright, sir?
Oh, whatever.
Driver, can I have you come step over here with me on the shoulder, please?
I'd rather stay in my vehicle.
You're not at arrest. I just gotta see your license and stuff, make sure you're all good.
Well, it's raining, so that's why I don't want to get out, dumb.
Well, you got a point, alright. Give me a second, let me come to your side.
Just so you guys notice, that was actually a really decent RP scene, so keep rolling with it.
Alright.
And by the way, he's the one that got pulled over, so if you want him to get out and it's raining, that's his problem.
Yeah.
But you just keep going for the sake of it.
Alright, sir, can I see your license registration, please?
Yeah, give me just 2 seconds, maybe if it works. There you go, sexy.
Alright, I'll be right with you, alright? Just sit tight, I'll be right back.
Alright, good looking. Oh shit, it's not me.
Alright, so you literally just got shot.
Huh?
You literally just got shot.
Oh. I'm gonna need.
Alright, stop.
Okay. Sorry.
Alright.
Got kind of confused.
This man wasn't ready. Alright. So, let's go ahead and finish this secondary. And then we'll explain.
Alright.
Go ahead and continue.
Alright.
Let's just get the guy through a
so
goddamn.
I read all your information. You're looking good. You don't got any any warrants or anything.
He hasn't even done a traffic stop yet, and you're already hitting him with this.
Your seatbelt on, so try and keep that on for your safety and everyone else's. And I'm gonna just be giving you a verbal warning today. All right, sir.
All right, there, gorgeous.
Alright. Alright, I'm gonna head back to my vehicle. Don't pull out until I get back and turn my lights off, alright?
Alright.
Alright. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Alrighty, so this man didn't even realize he was being shot at.
Well, I realized I was just kinda stunned.
Yeah, and I shot you right in the appendix.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to felony stops. Since we have, let's see here. Since we have 3, we're going to do a three-person felony stop.
Oh yeah, buddy.
All right, so we're just going to set up right here. Go ahead and give me all 3 vehicles, and I want... Give me Jones as primary.
All right.
All right, so here's how you're going to set your vehicles up. Let's get Jones in the center here, with his vehicle still angled to the left.
So as primary, am I the one making the calls?
Correct. You're making the calls. So you can call it how you would like as far as lethal and non-lethal, but you will definitely be non-lethal.
All right.
All right. So then, John, let me go ahead and get you to the left of him. You're going to be angled into his hood. Make the angle sharper.
And is this good?
Pull it back a little bit. Turn into your right. A little more. Perfect. And then third, you're going to do the same thing right over here.
Oh, I was out front.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you don't want to be out front because it's a felony stop. I could have shot you right there.
Oh.
Whoever has their sirens turned on, please turn them off. It only can be one person because you have your lights on.
What's the like, cause 1050s for like a normal traffic stop.
Hey, shut your lights off, guy.
What's for like a felony? Cause regular is like 1050, right?
Yeah, so we just say this is going to be, so Allen 1050 northbound New Empire Way.
Can I modify this real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is this car right here, 324, is he in the scene?
He is in the scene. He just needs to angle in a little more.
Right. So, I'm just gonna add something right here because this is technically correct, but a lot of times you don't have space to do this. He is right that you would need to angle in a bit closer to this one so that your nose is pointed closer to his nose in like a more of a V shape. If there's not room though, yeah, like that, and then pull up to EV equals his car. Perfect. If there is not room, you would assume a position, a tertiary position behind here. And if I can spawn in a vehicle, I'll show you. If there's no room on that side, you would spawn in a car faced in this way, where it is a space. It's about a car length behind the other vehicles, and it's spaced so that you can use your own car as cover. Back here at tertiary, you would be lethal and long distance, and you'd be aimed right between their V, basically.
If there's 3 of us on a felony stop, how many would there be? 2 non-lethal or 2 lethal?
There should only be 1 non-lethal, really, and that should be the primary.
All right.
The lethals should have the better shot on the driver.
Right. So normally that is normally that's up to the primary, but there should be 2, as you said, 2 lethal, and then you guys will make sure that you are pointed at the vehicle at all times. I would also suggest high beams.
Yeah.
Make sure your high beams are on. So that you can see in the vehicle as much as possible. The new Chargers actually have high beams on the light bars. So go ahead, both of you, all 3 of you, turn your lights on, and then turn your high beams on as well. So go ahead and turn your lights on. PSO deputy over there, turn your lights on.
We're on high beams.
Yes, turn your other lights on, your actual ELS lights. Like your boop boop lights.
Okay.
Okay. So already there's a difference. It's where PSO, their lights flash in front, whereas FHP keep their high beams on. All right, so here's the thing. So with primary, I'm gonna let whoever is primary do all the communication, and then we'll go from there.
So on the radio, what do I say like on the radio for like?
So I do want you to.
2 other
so
here.
we're already here. So I do want you to go ahead and say, this is going to be a felony stop. Questioning additionals. Give it a second because they're already there. Just give it a second, and then you're going to then commence the actual felony stop.
All right.
Whenever you're ready.
This is 324-1097.
This is 342. We're going to be on a felony traffic stop with a gray 4-door sedan on New Empire Way. 2 additionals needed. Alright, so on the count of 3, I'll get out with my taser, you 2 get out with lethal, and I'm gonna start by getting the passenger out, alright?
Okay, I'll have lethal on target on the right.
Alright.
Get the driver.
Alright. Alright. 3, 2, 1, alright.
Go ahead and redo that.
Okay.
Back in. PSO deputy,
You
hold
should
down
start
your
with
F.
the driver. The driver's the threat in this situation and the one you're looking to arrest.
Alright.
So, I don't have weapons. I was...
Oh, shit.
Late.
Yeah, you missed that part.
So right now, for the sake of us just getting through this, we're going to act like you have a weapon. All right? Or Frank can just give you one. Yeah, perfect. Exactly. In your hand. So get back in your vehicle and wait for primary to say get out. Go when ready.
Alright, on the count of 3, we're gonna get the driver out first, and you 2 get lethal, I'll get non-lethal, right?
Yep.
Alright, 1, 2, 3. Passenger, get back in the vehicle. Ooh.
Start shooting him, Mike.
Driver.
Alright, stop scene. You just walked in front of a vehicle and now you're dead.
Oh.
Alright, so here's the thing. The reason we do this every time, or at least I do, is because the first inclination when someone starts running is to run after them. You don't do that. And the reason being is we don't know who is in the vehicle, and we don't know what weapons or really just what they have in the vehicle, period. So now, because you've now left the other 2 officers vulnerable, and now you have also left yourself vulnerable. By now your back is turned, and guess what? All I gotta do is pull a pistol out and shoot you. So
I mean, okay, I can see that.
Right.
Yeah.
So in the event for us, in the event that someone starts running, remember the reason we're pulling over is because the driver is the vehicle that's registered, and we're assuming that the driver is the person registered. That's who we're going to go after. So if the driver is still in the vehicle, then at that point we're going after him. If the driver gets out and flees, call it over radio, and then normally there's like six officers on, so call it over radio, say there's a foot pursuit, you guys worry about the scene at hand. Again, if a driver steps out, you still have the passenger, so you want to because I can be honest.
Yeah.
Right, so
it was just my mindset that I had 2 other officers like aiming, so like I was good.
Right, but just because they're aiming doesn't mean that if there's a fully blacked out window they can see a weapon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So redo this every single time so that we can practice this, because there's always that one person. So, all right, let's start the scene again. That's the only reason I did that. Just so we can get through this, we're going to just go ahead and continue as we need to. Go ahead and start from stepping out.
Alright, we're gonna start with getting the driver out of the vehicle, alright? On the count of 3, everyone get out and get your weapons ready, alright? Alright, 1, 2, 3. Driver, put your hands out the window and step out of the vehicle. Hands up. Alright, slowly step back to the sound of my voice. Go to the left. Keep coming. To the right. keep coming. Keep coming back.
Passenger has a gun.
He has a gun. Come back here.
Oh, hey man, how's
Keep
it
back.
going? Sorry,
Keep coming.
I was muted there for a second, so I wasn't eating. And I want everyone's ear.
Alright, I'm a cuffing.
I'm good, man.
PSO deputy, you should still be on the vehicle, not on him.
You guys, you're a trooper. Your
1050 passengers.
Your guys do a good job, man. They really do.
Vehicle. Alright. Alright, passenger, put your hands up. Put your hands up and step out of the vehicle.
Jabronsky, I can't believe I don't follow you, man. I gotta follow.
Right.
Let me
hands
double
up,
check. I thought I
slowly walk
followed
back
you.
to the sound of my voice. Don't turn around.
Maybe
face
I'm
forward.
thinking you're someone else.
Come, keep stepping back. Don't look. Just keep coming. Just keep coming.
I can't walk backwards. What are you trying to? What do you mean?
Just come back to me with your hand. Just keep your hands up and come back to me. Just keep coming.
Ah, no, it
Keep
looks like maybe you're not the Jabronsky. We have another
That's
guy
right.
named
Keep
Jabronsky. How can you not be the only one?
Alright, keep your hands up. Face away from me. Alright, I'm gonna cuff him.
Well, hey man, welcome to the
Keep your hands up.
Welcome to the server and welcome to the
PSO deputy
FHP.
one is your
I'm in
gun on me, not
PSO,
on the
but
vehicle.
hey, you know we work together with the FHP all the time, man.
On the
We are all one big team.
That wasn't true.
And then whoever is outside next to the other vehicle, you should be back at your vehicle. You haven't.
So at what point do you stop aiming at the guy?
Never. You don't aim at the guy. You aim at the vehicle because, again, you're trained on the vehicle at all times. If one of you are going to orchestrate keeping your gun on that individual, you can. But
Well, if you're about to join up, man, it's good that you're watching this. This will actually be good information for you to have.
So you shouldn't be having to worry
And
about
you
that.
guys,
If primary says
FHP
"Alright,
has
trooper
awesome
on my
training,
right,
man. You got
go
good
ahead
guys.
and keep a bead on the suspect, you can do that.
I
but
can be a
one
pretty
needs
good
to be
deputy, but
trained
these
on
guys have all the
vehicle
tech shit
at
down. They know all the
times.
technical
You never
stuff,
look
and
away from
it's
the
good to have
vehicle
all
because
that
if
stuff.
shots start coming out from the vehicle, you light the vehicle up. All right, so continue, keep going.
Do you want us to like search you and stuff, or?
Nope, because we haven't cleared the vehicle yet.
Alright. Alright. I'll move him back to the back of my vehicle and we'll clear the vehicle.
Yeah, that whole search thing was a comment I made, and it was corrected. Hopewell said not to worry about searching him and put him in the back of the vehicle, and you should do that. Same with PSO.
Alright. Alright.
All right, so you may want to RP that before you just grab me.
Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and make sure the vehicle's clear.
Wait for primary. Primary should be lethal now. Communicate, switching to lethal.
Switching to lethal.
And then you can communicate, okay, trooper on the right's gonna go behind the vehicle, and then on you.
Trooper on the right, go to the right, I'll go to the left. Watch crossfire. Vehicle's clear.
All right, so come and pull me out of the vehicle, and I'm gonna show you because it can be a little confusing with 3 people.
Are you on the left or right?
I'm on the right. Other vehicle.
Yeah. Oh.
That's like a good line up there.
Just uncuff me real quick.
Says you're uncuffed.
Cuff me, and oh yeah, but okay, so that's a glitch. I'm still cuffed. So you have to cuff and uncuff me. Yep. All right. So here's the thing. So the person on the left, theoretically, you sitting here. Again, this is not bad. You just didn't know. Whenever you add an additional unit into the mix that's not 2, now you get this weird area where, okay, there's 3 people, what do I do? If he's walking in front of your gun, you're now in a crossfire, right?
Yes.
So whenever he says move in, so I have to I'm on push to talk, so just watch what I'm doing. So if he's moving in, he's on my right hand side. We're moving together. So
I
as to
wasn't
clear
sure
the vehicle.
because the primary didn't say.
Yep, that's okay. So even if he says, all right, we're going to move up, in that event, at least put your weapon down so that you're not, at risk of shooting the other guy. Because he's saying we're moving in, they have a bead on the car, and now you're not on the vehicle. Does that make sense? Again, it can get real fishy when you get 3 different people inside a felony stop, but always watch crossfire. So if that means that I have to put my gun down while they're clearing the vehicle, I'll do it, and I'll make sure that behind us is covered. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
it's good fucking information to have, people. If you want to be an RP cop, this is a good information to have. Big time.
1 second.
Do you want me to take you out of the back?
Don't worry, they can't hear me.
Yeah, take Mike out. All right, so do we want to, does somebody else want to be primary, or do you guys just want to go ahead and move on?
It's up to them.
I think we're good to move on.
John, do you need to be primary, or are you okay?
I'm good.
Okay.
Good.
I think we're good to move on. It's just like I keep getting confused on the importance of keeping it on the car, but we don't have any tinted cars. So like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're gonna get tinted vehicles.
Yeah,
you'll see a lot of
it's
tinted
gonna
vehicles.
Make more sense when the car is tinted. Why you keep aiming at it?
Yeah, so no matter what.
Yeah,
there you go.
And that's what they'll look like too. So when you keep a bead on it, you don't walk around the back of the vehicle until you're about to clear the vehicle. So
I have a question. Okay, so like let's say he's detaining the driver, I'm keeping a bead on the car. If I see a passenger break the window to like aim at me, is that just
you shoot him.
If you see them with a gun aim at you, you're fucking deemed lethal force.
Yeah, dude,
like if I see a gun at all?
Yes, and they aim in your general vicinity, fucking shoot them.
Shoot them,
Well, they don't even aim it at me. Like if they just start shooting.
That's brandishing a firearm, bro. Yeah, dude. Did you just one-type him?
Yep. Did. His skull.
Yep.
So impressive. So if you see the second you saw this, you could have theoretically, you just never know, man. You got people, you'll pull them over before you can even start the 1050, and they'll start unloading on your vehicle.
Yep, it happens. Now, if you want a tip of advice, and this is something that I do personally, is if I come up as a secondary, okay, or a third unit, okay, obviously your primary's coming as a non-lethal, right? What I do is I don't get out with my fucking handgun. I get out and I freaking grab them 4 out of my center console, and that's what I'm using.
Yeah.
This is a 4-seater car. There could be 4 guys with guns.
Oh, there's Jabronsky.
You know,
See, I thought you were the Jabronsky. Yeah, no. You confused me. The way you said it in chat, Jabronsky, you
get out of the car with your M4.
It sounded like you were about to join
the new Chargers,
the troopers,
they actually
like the
have
FHP,
M4s
but you're
racked in between, so that's more.
You're an actual FHP. I thought you were. I was like, there's no way there could be 2 Jabronskys. I was very confused.
Could you maybe go over how you would close out, like, radio communication wise towards the end of a felony stop again? That made sense.
Oh, he may not realize he's not speaking, which does happen.
It's pretty much going to be the same exact thing as coming off of 1050. So you just be like code 4 off that last felony stop or the last 1050 back 10-8.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty much just exactly how you would do a traffic stop, but you could.
And then what would the secondary say?
They would be like 1 kilo 2 same traffic, and then the third person would be whatever their call sign is, same traffic.
Okay.
Yeah, you're just letting everyone know what your status is. Hey, I'm leaving this traffic stop and I'm now back
Now
out.
the only thing is that if you got him detained, you've cleared the vehicle. You don't for real just want to go out and say code 4. You can come on the radio and say we have 2 in custody. Vehicle is cleared. Show us 10-7 for questioning. something to that effect, so that 10-7 is you're out of service, unavailable, so that in the event of doing that, they still know that you're unavailable. And if it gets too serious, you can say 324, any active supervisors online, can you come to my position? And then you can move further into that if you'd like.
And on top of it, if you've already got them, you've already did all your questioning, and you're getting ready to get mission row, you could be like, I'm 1051 to mission row, 2 suspects in custody, or something of that nature as well.
I'll just share, guys, something. You know, when I was learning, when I was first learning how to use a radio to fly, like years and years ago, I remember being so caught up in like saying the words, and really all you're doing, man, is you're just letting people know what you're doing and where you are and what's going on with you. So if you think of it like that, it makes it a little bit more relaxed. You're just saying, hey, I'm done with this guy, I'm back out doing my job, you know. And that always makes it easier for me, because then all I'm doing is just finding a new way to just kind of communicate to people what's going on with me. And it's just so we can keep tabs on each other and kind of know what's going on.
I have a question.
Go for it.
So, other than like bolo and stuff, like what would be some other reasons for like a felony stop?
If they did a 1031V and then all of a sudden it comes to a 1050, so it's a pursuit and it's a 1050. Usually that's the only one. If they've usually if they've shot at you and they pulled over, you can pretty much guess it's going to be a gunfight.
Yeah.
I will say this, and I'm going to say this with a caveat. If they are shooting at you and you cannot get out of your vehicle, do the best you can to try to survive while you can. You know, get out of your vehicle with your door open and press Q. You can get down below it. The only reason I would say shoot from your car, but when you start saying that type of stuff, that can get very, very fishy, because usually if you shoot through your car windshield, it's a lot of stuff can happen to you. So just try to stay as alert and aware of shooting and stuff as you can.
This brings up something really important that I think is important to say too about shootings. Remember, you're not trying to win your shooting RP scenario. You're trying to survive, because that's what you're going to do first. So your first reaction may not necessarily be to shoot. If someone's shooting at you, you're probably going to be like, holy fucking shit, you know, and you're going to like duck down and you're going to get in your car and hit the gas and get the fuck away, you know, and try to get yourself to a safe position that you can return fire.
Alright, so if somebody does aim a gun at you, are you able to instantly pull your gun out, or do you have to do /me reaches for whatever? Just like civs?
No. You don't
If
have
someone's
to do
pointing a gun at you, shoot them.
Yeah, pull your gun as quick as you can and shoot them.
Yeah.
So you'll see me do this a lot. If you actually get in your vehicle, your ALPR has to be off to do this, but if you actually in your vehicle equip your combat pistol, if you step out and you hit tab, your combat pistol automatically is there. Alright, so I think that for the 1050 we probably spent just a little bit too much time on it, but I think that's okay. We got to go ahead and move on. Matthews, have they said anything for us to do next?
Well, Heather left us.
She what?
Heather's leaving up to us. She had to deal with a trooper, so.
Okay. Alright,
Well,
so
I'm not 100% of what Heather went over already, because for half of it I was dealing with something else. You know better.
Do we go over robberies still? I mean, I can go off of what I used to
That's
teach
towards the
people.
end.
Is that a thing or no? That's what?
Yeah, we still go over robberies, but it's towards the end of the academy.
What's
Alright, so
felonies then?
I'm gonna do it right now. So we did citations. Well, no, we haven't. There's a lot we haven't done.
All
right, so Matthews,
Heather
can
really
you
skipped around.
Can you go ahead? Can you go ahead and please pull all of us up, and I'll read through some of this training. I'll do it pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna step away for just a second. I'll be back.
Did you say, are we still doing whispers?
Yeah, for radios and setting up their comms.
Yeah, we do that at the end as well.
Okay.
Alright guys, so we just did 1050s and traffic stops. Unfortunately, there's still a good bit that we have to cover that is in the training manual. Because if we don't, it will make no sense. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna read through all of this, and I'm gonna get through a couple of it. If you have any questions, hold it to the end so I can read through all of it, okay? All right, so can you guys hear anything in the background, or is that okay?
You're good.
You're good. I'm gonna step away for just a minute while you're reading too. I'll be back.
Hey.
Does anybody need a break or anything, like 5 minutes before we go into this?
Yeah, I probably need like 5 minutes.
All right, 5 minutes, get a drink, and then once we come back, we'll start on fire scenes.
All right.
When everyone gets back, we gotta hurry it up. Heather kind of skipped around and that threw us off. So there's some things that we should have done way before and we haven't done yet. So
I'll be joining now.
I'm gonna leave the airport premises to go get some food. My character is about to die.
I don't think the stores work, but you can try. Well, they might have fixed
shot.
We'll just help you back up. Yeah, there's nothing in the stores at all.
Probably possible that Noah put it back in. I know he was talking about that.
If that's the case, let's buy a shit ton of food.
Yeah, we're all about to die then.
Is there a estimated time of when this?
What are you guys on right now?
Well, it's kind of up in the air because we did menus and then traffic stops, and we haven't even started.
You guys are gonna be here for at least an hour to an hour and a half. There's a lot of you here.
Jesus Christ, guys.
So once we get through, that's what I'm saying. We literally don't ask questions until we're done with everything, and then we'll do the evoc course in one. We'll split up again. We'll do half evoc, half weapon quals, and then we'll switch again.
Yeah, basically, more questions you ask, the longer it's gonna be. We do encourage asking questions. It's good. Better you learn here than out in the field. However, the more you ask, the longer it's gonna take, and there is a lot of you guys.
Yeah, it might just be better to like save a lot of the questions whenever you're with a field trainer.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. Yeah, did Jones just come in here?
What section of the training manual are you on?
Beginning.
Number 1, like mission training?
Let's see, we did a checklist. Police procedure.
Perfect.
And I'm gonna read through all this, and it'll be really quick. So let's go ahead and say this because there are so many of you. Normally we say we'll leave it up to your FTO, but we'll cover some stuff. We literally in this moment, because of how many people and because of the time that we have, are literally going to say, if you have questions, ask your FTO. Sometimes FTOs already know that their first ride along could be a million questions that they have to ask, and they may not get to any scenes whatsoever. If it's a serious question and it's super pertinent, then don't be afraid to ask it. But I mean, if we don't get through this, it's gonna be a way long time before we get
4
through.
o'clock in the morning before we all get off. So.
Yeah. So for the love of God, I gotta be up at like 6:15. So ain't nobody want any of that. All right. Is everyone here?
Yep.
Anybody who's not here?
Where you guys at?
Mario is still away, I think. We're gonna start at police procedure. We are currently still at the airport. Actually, if guys, go ahead and every single person go ahead and despawn your cars.
Military base, I'm guessing.
And we are gonna go ahead and get some helicopters and split teams up, so right when we're done with this we can start our training quals. So everyone go ahead and delete your vehicles and go ahead and get 2 cargo bobs.
There you go.
If you're not sure how to delete your vehicles, you go to your F1 menu, go to vehicle options, all the way down at the very bottom you'll be delete vehicle.
Alright, if you were with Matthews last round, we're going to do it the same way. Matthews is on the left, Keller is on the right.
I think I was with Keller. I don't remember.
No, I was with
Whoever was by the hangar, get into the one on the right.
Okay.
The one with the engine off.
That was easier.
Is it gonna let them in? Yeah, it's gonna let them in. Perfect.
Yes, whoever was on the runway, get into the cargo vibe with the running.
Alright, is that everybody, or are we still waiting on one?
If I was on the runway, which one?
If you're on the runway. Alright, so runway is gonna go, Matthews, what do you want to go to first?
Here.
You want to do the evac?
Works.
Alright, so Matthew's gonna go to the evac. Metal take us to the military base. Alright, so everyone in here while we're flying, I'm gonna go ahead and read through this, and then we'll knock this straight out. If you have any questions, save it for the end. Again, your FTOs will be evaluating this. So what would have originally happened in the beginning, first and foremost, I want to welcome all of you to LEO training. Thank you for being here. Thank you for signing up and for volunteering to do this job. The mission of Vice Gaming Network Training Division is to provide the best possible training for all law enforcement officers and police service personnel who avail themselves of our services. We believe in and are committed to developing a training curriculum that will provide meaningful and effective core training, in-service training, and weapons proficiency training to all attendees, and to strive to be a leader in the development and delivery of innovative training programs and educational opportunities to Department personnel as well as law enforcement officers across the state of Florida. Alright, so we've already gone over some of our standards. You guys have already been approved for pre-checklist. You guys have already done. Police procedure, scene security. So this is basically just going to cover different types of situations, and we're going to kind of go over them. Scene security at all crime, traffic, or emergency scene officers are responsible for security and maintaining the scene. Officers must maintain a perimeter around the scene by securing the scene and blocking any and all traffic that may cross the area. Officers must ensure no evidence is tampered with and no civilian or non-essential personnel enters the area. If a civilian refuses to leave an active crime scene, he or she is subject to arrest. If you are your last arriving unit or the scene is code 4, be sure to set up and hold the perimeter. Whoever has an open mic, please mute your mic. Scene management. Whenever an officer first arrives on the scene, he or she is responsible for notifying other units to what is going on and what resources are needed. By the way, before I continue, does everyone have this Law Enforcement Unified Academy training manual?
Yes.
Yay, nay?
Yes.
Please speak up if you don't.
Is it the PSO?
No, here.
I remember that from the PSO.
Alright, so if you are currently in the highway patrol training, that's the link for it. You're currently at police procedure. It's number 4, you'll see it on the side. The officer must start setting up scene management until a person in higher rank takes control of the management officer. The officer must ensure all needed resources are on scene and to all urged agencies are needed and also notified. For those who are at the military base that are about to land, walk into the yellow circle, go to the middle and stand on the yellow, solid yellow line and /emo cop. For assessment. Assessment of a threat. Officers must be observant at all times and know what is around them. Officers must be able to judge a civilian's threat level or level of danger at the scene. While assessing a scene, an officer must take into consideration what he or she actually sees, and how he or she feels about their safety. The yellow line will be right in here with the hash marks on it. Go ahead and stand on it and face east /emo cop. Officer must not second guess him or herself when it comes to his or her safety, and ask other units if he or she feels unsafe and not sure about at any moment. Waiting for help. Officers must be clearly and calmly state to dispatch what he or she needs help for and the level of severity of the scene. Aided persons. Aided persons. The word aid is to assist, help, or support someone or something. All persons are to be helped by officers to the best of his or her ability. Officers must be able to provide basic first aid support to any persons in need while being able to call for the proper agencies to provide more adequate medical assistance. Transport. Officers must get a proper assistance to a person in need of medical care. Depending on the level of injuries, officers may be able to escort the aided persons to a medical center in his or her RMP. This is dependent on availability of EMS fire being on duty. Officers must get approval from the supervisor before transporting anyone in his or her RMP. Emotionally disturbed persons. Any mental disorder not caused by detectable organic abnormalities of the brain or in major disturbance of emotions is predominant. Officers dealing with a mentally disturbed person should understand this person has no control over themselves or a train of thought. Emotionally disturbed members of a society are among the toughest of calls for any officer. The goal with these people is to get them proper medical assistance. Officers should always try to use less than lethal options when emotionally disturbed persons. Active shooters. Police responding to active shooters are trained in a procedure known as rapid deployment and proceed immediately to the area in which the shots were last heard. Their purpose is to stop the shooting quickly as possible. First responding officers will normally be in teams of 4. They may be dressed in regular patrol uniforms, or they may be wearing external bulletproof vests, Kevlar helmets, and other tactical equipment. FHP and PSO will go over what that is later with your FTO if you have any questions about that. The officers may be armed with rifles, shotguns, or handguns, and might also be using pepper spray and tear gas to control the situation. The first officers to arrive will not stop to aid injured people. Again, you will not stop to aid injured people. Rescue team composed of other officers and emergency medical personnel will follow the first officers in the secured area to treat and remove injured persons. Police will usually not let anyone leave until the situation is fully under control and all witnesses have been identified and questioned, no matter what. Oh, I gotta get home to my family. We understand you can't leave. That's just how it's gonna go. Robbery call. Their response, because it's a 2-officer call at minimum, your response should be is to be sure that you both arrive at this approximately the same time and with good cover and concealment, so to assess situation, i.e. when you arrive on scene, your squad car should be facing your driver's side should be facing away from the windows as to provide good cover. Sometimes you will not arrive at the same time as somebody else, so the first person that arrives on scene is assuming primary. This is not on there, this is what I'm saying, is going to assume primary until the supervisor says so. And when you arrive on scene first, you're going to get out of your vehicle, have your weapon drawn, you're going to assess the situation over radio, what you see, and then you're not going to approach or anything until you receive backup. You must communicate with each other and approach carefully to make sure that the person committing the robbery doesn't have a hostage. They're hoping that the dispatcher has given them as much descriptive information as possible, so to be able to distinguish anybody else may be in the store from the actual robbery suspect. It would obviously be a tragedy to go after the wrong person if you hadn't gotten those details. Yes, guns are drawn and orders are issued, and hopefully they're complied with by the suspect. But in most cases, a robbery in progress call will result in an officer arriving. The suspect has left. This is not always the case in our server, unless the officer is literally seconds away. Suspects have a tendency to like to get in and out as quickly as possible to avoid confrontations with police. It's imperative that officers receive a great description, although they rarely do, as people under extreme stress tend to make terrible witnesses. Women in general tend to notice more details than men, yet men are usually better at seeing the big picture as to what vehicle were they driving. Officers will put out a broadcast based on information they are given, and other officers will begin searching the area for people that match said description. Alright, down to fire scenes. I'm going to basically cover this. I'm going to cliff notes this. For fire scenes, if you do see a fire, most commonly a vehicle fire for property damage, contact PCFR. There is no PCFR on, try to put it out with your extinguisher. If that fails, contain the scene, block off traffic, and try to get a hold of a PCFR member. And again, if one's not on, put out the fire the best you can, and if not, block the street and just let it burn out. That's usually the best way that'll work. I will read this. Fire, combustion, or burning, in which substance combined chemically with oxygen from air and typically give out bright light, heat, and smoke. Officers who are confronted with an active fire of any size must notify dispatch and request for a fire department to respond on the scene. As far as your safety is concerned, you have a fire extinguisher, but that doesn't always combat the fire. Try to call PCFR. If not, again, just let it burn out. We're going to move on to water rescue. I want to say we maybe only have 1 or 2 water rescues on our server that have actually been RP'd. But with that, we'll go just kind of briefly through this. Surface water rescue is defined as rescue of a of a patient who is afloat in the surface body of water. Any significant sized body of water, whether mid-summer or winter, is considered cold water. Therefore, an effective rescue team will be trained with multiple technical disciplines. Some of you, we actually have RP'd somewhat the ability to create a wetsuit, quote unquote. For Frank, he knows that well. He basically has swimming trunks under his uniform at all times. Officers, when confronted with water rescue, must notify dispatch. And request proper agency respond to the scene. Officers, if officers respond to the scene and have the proper swimming ability, they may attempt the rescue, but if they do, they must remove his or her duty belt, radio, bulletproof vest, and boots prior to entering the water. CPR we will talk about later. Issuing citations. A call or citation by authority to appear before court or judicial officer. Citations are also summons to be paid for by the person receiving the citation or fighting the citation in court. Officers must issue citations based on road or criminal laws broken in the operator vehicle. Let's see. We have there is such citation as public health citation. Officers may also issue citation to public health issue, such as but not limited to disorderly conduct, drinking in public, or public urination. We currently do not have any penal codes for that stuff because you can't drink in public. You can, but urinate in public, it's like you just kind of try to make one up if you can. That kind of pertains to that. FTO will go through all of that stuff. Partners and ride-alongs. So there's two big differences here. Partners are assigned roll calls by the officer conducting it. Partners decide who the operator and navigator will be. This is chosen by the most senior officer in the RMP. Again, if you want to do a partner thing, you must consult a supervisor before you do. Ride-alongs are different. Ride-alongs, officers will be assigned ride-alongs based on the conduct on duty. Officers will also be assigned ride-alongs, such as you guys, because you're coming straight out of the academy, until you are deemed ready to go on solo patrols. As far as zones and coverages are concerned, zones are the patrol sectors where officers will be assigned. We have 2 patrol zones, and these will be covered. What was that?
Matthews.
All right. They will be covered in cadet training. Again, your FTO will go over patrol zones. If there is more than, I want to say, 5 LEOs in one department, that specific LEO, whether FHP or PSO, will have a briefing on to split up in your active patrol zone. In patrol coverage, officers will spread out and cover ground while on patrol. Pretty self-explanatory. Field training evaluations. Field training officer, FTO, is an experienced or senior member of the organization, is responsible for training and evaluation of junior or probationary level member. The role is used extensively in law enforcement, fire departments, and emergency medical services. All officers out of the academy will be assigned a ride-along and trained in the field while being evaluated by his FTO. Evaluation. Rigorous analysis of completed or ongoing activities that determine or support management accountability, effectiveness, and efficiency. Officers may and will be evaluated by staff appointed over them. This is to ensure all department members are held to a higher standard and in line with the department's patrol guide. Members who fail evaluations are subject to demotion or retraining as the evaluator seems fit. We went over F6 menus. We went over radio traffic. We went over civilian interaction and RPs. We went over traffic stops. We will go over this. Probable cause. Sufficient reason based upon known facts to believe a crime has been committed or that certain property is connected with a crime. Probable cause must exist for a law enforcement officer to make an arrest without a warrant, search without a warrant, or seize property in the belief that the items were evidence of a crime. While some cases are easy, like pistols and illicit drugs in plain sight, gunshots, a suspect running from a local store with a clerk screaming help, actions typically of drug dealers, burglaries, prostitute thieves, or people with guilt written across their faces are more difficult to categorize probable cause. It's often subject, but if a police officer, it's often subjective, but if a police officer believes even a hunch was correct, finding stolen goods.
Boy, I feel for Keller, man. It's a lot to
hidden
read.
weapon or drugs may be claimed as self-fulfilling proof of probable
Those of you
cause.
in my car, pay attention to the route.
Technically, probable cause has to exist prior to arrest, search, or seizure. Reasonable suspicion. Reasonable suspicion exists when the information known to the member of the service would make an ordinary, prudent, and cautious police officer under circumstance believe the criminal activity is at hand. The officer must have a particularized and objective basis for suspecting the person stopped of the criminal conduct. The officer must be able to articulate specific facts establishing justification for the stop. Hunches or gut feelings are not sufficient. As far as an example of drug calls, you cannot just arrest them and you cannot just search them because you think they were a part of the drug call. You have to witness them actually handing over the drugs to have probable cause to say that you're being detained and under arrest for selling drugs. If they are in the drug call area, you can call in a K-9, but as I said earlier, you cannot hold them. It's against the law for you to hold them until a K-9 gets there, because theoretically you have no basis or proof that they are actually dealing drugs. So I would recommend you just try to play it off as like stalling. Detainment to keep under restraint or in custody. Officers must ensure to have probable cause to detain any suspect and be able to clearly state the reason for the stop and detaining of any persons. Again, you're basically just explaining why they're being detained. You're not under arrest. You're just being detained. Miranda rights. The wording used when a person is read Miranda warning, also known as being Mirandized, is clear and direct. Some of you may know it. If you don't, I'll go ahead and read it. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do will be held against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford one, the state of Florida will appoint you one when available. We say when available because we do not have any lawyers in the server. So that is the reason we say that. Do you understand these rights? They say yes. All right. Would you like to say anything to me now that I've read you your Miranda? So you don't only have to say this when you've arrested them, or detained them, we should say. If you are questioning somebody and they have been detained, you can Mirandize them because they have the right to remain silent, because there can be things that they could say that could incriminate them. And at that point, if you Mirandize them and they say that, they can use that in the court of law. There's a difference, though. If they come into you as an admission of guilt, that is different. If you pulled them over and they're in a stolen vehicle and you say, hey, you understand you're in a stolen vehicle, right? Yes, you're right, I'm in a stolen vehicle. They've now admitted it. You can now say, please step out of the vehicle. Just want to let you know you're under arrest. Anything you say or do, yes. Search and seizure is a legal term to describe law enforcement agents' examination of any person's home, vehicle, business to find evidence that a crime has been committed. If evidence was found, the agent must then seize it. Search and seizure also includes placing an individual under arrest. After they're under arrest, at that point, you can search them. Okay, escalation. An increase in the intensity or seriousness of something, an intensification. Escalation should be the last means, and if all it fails, officers will be trained to use the minimum level of violence to bring the situation to an end. Officers that use force to end a situation must be able to clearly explain why the choice to use violence was made. I.e., I would highly recommend, almost a requirement, but it's not a requirement, get a body cam. It will save you in the long run. I'm not going to read the whole thing of less than lethal, but less than lethal is such as stun gun, baton, and mace. They're used to be the first choice when it comes to a situation escalating and are a safer response to a threat than lethal weapons, such as if a guy is running up to punch you, could you lethally use your firearm? Yes, but the goal is preservation of life. If you have your less than lethal out and the guy's coming up to punch you, tase him. There you go. Lethal option.
Or even better option, baton him.
Or baton him. Perfect. Lethal option. Lethal options are defined as simple and sufficient to cause death. When confronted with life or death situations, officers must make split-second decisions when it comes to lethal options. Officers must be able to clearly justify use of any force. Officers' lethal options are as follows: combat pistol, pump shotgun, or carbine rifle. These are the qualifications for shooting. We will go over that as soon as we actually get to it. Again, we're just trying to get through all this stuff. De-escalation of force. De-escalation refers to the behavior that is intended to escape escalations of conflict. It may also refer to approaches of conflict resolution. Escalations of commitment are often hard from spiraling out of proportions without specific measures being taken. Basically, verbal judo is using your words to try to de-escalate the situation. Basically, you're not going to use words that could increase or escalate the situation. You want to try to be respectful, and you want to use empathy, which brings into my next point. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. You should try to understand the suspect you come in contact with. You should try to help the person through maybe what they're going through. Really try to just de-escalate the position as much as you can. Sometimes that doesn't work, so use of force should always be a last resort, but not to be dismissed when one's life is in danger. Okay, police call-out training. We actually are not going to go over the whole of this. We will do robbery calls at the end. Domestics, if you have a domestic, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, if you have a domestic, separate the two people out, whether it's a female and a male, or a male male and male, female. Separate them, get their questioning, and then make your distinguish whether they're which one was in the wrong, and then you arrest them and charge them with assault and all that other stuff. Active shooter, we already kind of went over that. Traffic accidents. All right, FHP, you need to be very aware of this because we deal with traffic accidents. That is our primary thing. Police officer arrives on a crash scene. Priority is safety. When each individual involved moves to a safe area to stay out of traffic's way. This may include calling for additional responders, including firefighters, paramedics, police officers, and utility workers. The officer may also begin to control traffic by putting out cones, flares, and hand directing traffic. We actually have a emote for that now on your F9 menu. Then as an officer, you will gather and confirm preliminary information, including location of accident, weather conditions, road conditions, date and time of the crash, time when police were notified, who called the police and how, number of vehicles in the accident, and the type of vehicle that was involved. Again, you're basically taking statements of everything. Who, what, where, when, why, how. An investigation begins by gathering information regarding who, what, where, when, why, how. Alright. So, narcotics. Narcotics calls are common and should be taken with care. All cadets must read fully and understand the chart above and how to properly identify if a person is under the influence of any narcotics. If a cadet spots any narcotics around the suspect, they are to call call a K9 unit and find any more of a substance the suspect has used. All cadets should be trained on how to properly administer Narcan. In this case, suspect is OD'd. Suspect is OD'd. Fire and rescue must be called immediately as to preserve the life of the suspect. Some signs of drug use are. You can read the thing below. We're not going to do that. First aid and accident training. Let me just look through this. I'm going to go ahead and make this known. If fire rescue is on server and you do not request and you just take them, you will be issued a CD. No questions asked. I hope that's clear. If not, you can read it. Instructors will explain cadets signs to look for when someone's injured. Basically, because we're doing RP, those guys will already kind of say, oh, I'm hurting. You can also do, so for the sake of my buddy over here, who's in front of me? Who is this? In front of Keller.
That's me. Jones. Jordan
Jones?
Mm-hmm.
You can do /MD and then the ID of the person. Oh, it doesn't work on this one. And it will show their BP, if they're bleeding, all that other stuff. That's how you can assess. Trauma check, take a moment to evaluate the situation. If no immediate danger, do not move the victim until you assess the severity of his or her injuries. Ask the victim what happened. If they are responsive. If they're responsive, then you would check for pain, numbness in the victim's neck, shoulders, or arms. Injuries to the head or chest, tenderness and tightness in the abdomen may indicate internal injuries. Sprains or breaks of the limbs. Neck injury, again, you don't want to move the neck as much as possible, so within that, you want to put a C-spine brace on them, and then just do your best not to move them from there. Neck injuries are super serious because if there is a neck injury, it can be repaired, but if it's moved, it can injure it to a place where it can't be repaired. It could potentially result in paralysis or death. Shock occurs when the victim's body begins to shut down and often results in significant blood loss, internal bleeding, or damage to the nervous system. External bleeding needs to be controlled, again, by applying pressure or using tourniquet, or even using clotting powder, which allows the blood to clot so that you don't lose as much blood. Signs of shock following accident injury may include paleness, weakness, clammy skin, confusion, shallow breathing, weakened rapid pulse, and unconsciousness. To treat shock, keep the victim with a warm blanket or other covering and try to restore proper blood flow to the brain by laying the victim down and feet above his or her head. Keep in mind that shock is a gradual effect, and I mean this because I've seen tons of people in shock. It literally happens like a flash of lightning. It is, and then it's just literally nothing happening, and it just happens. Victim may feel fine one moment and begin to show signs of shock soon after. For this reason, it's important to keep an eye on the victim until paramedics arrive. CPR. All right, we're just gonna go. I'll go ahead and tell you this. CPR. You want to go ahead and move the head back, as in to open the airway, and then just start CPR. The American Heart Association has determined this is not in there. This is actual CPR. I'm BLS certified in real life, so this because I know this. With CPR, normally it used to be 30 for every 15 compressions. You do two breaths. You don't do that anymore.
2 breaths and 30 compressions?
No, see, so it used to be 15 compressions and 2 breaths in between. Now they say if you're going to do breaths, it's 35 compressions and 2 breaths. RP pulling out something out of your car, they have these little mouthpieces that you can blow in. If you feel uncomfortable doing that, just do CPR. Pound that chest like mashed potatoes and just go with it. What saves them is the constant blood flow and keeping their heart pumping, not necessarily the fact that you're breathing down their throat. And I mean that literally. Broken bones. Splint is used to immobilize fractured limbs and take place of broken bones. Length of wood, pipe, wire, or rolled newspaper can make an effective splint. Position the splint around the fracture, being careful not to straighten the limb that is twisted. The limb should be splinted to the position it was found. If possible, arrange the splint and include the joints above and below the fracture. This will help to immobilize the injured area. Secure the splint against the limb, and elastic bandage is ideal, but if not available, tape, belts, close strips, or other material can be tied or wrapped around the splint area and can be used instead. Make sure binding is not pressed to the injury. It is not tied so tight that you cut off circulation. Check the injured area repeatedly for swelling, pelvis, numbness, and loosen the splint if necessary. Wait for medical assistance. As far as bleeding, we already determined. Put pressure on it, but first, make sure you get some gauze out or something like that so that you're actually applying pressure to that. If it gets too wet, replace the gauze. That's basically what bleeding is. If there's no fire rescue on, officers are to provide the best amount of aid possible. After you triage the injured person, transport them in your RMP. Make sure you call that over radio just so that people know that you're actually taking them there. You don't necessarily have to radio in to a supervisor as long as you call for a good rule of thumb. Call PCFR twice, so 314 requesting PCFR, nothing, 314 requesting PCFR. If there's nothing, let them in your vehicle. 316, I'm transporting one to Sandy Shores Medical with injuries, and then you take them, you submit them to the hospital. Police pursuit procedures, we won't really go over that.
We will earlier or later.
Yeah, we'll go over that in a little bit. Again, we talked about taking down the plate for a bolo. If there's a warrant, again, we go over that.
Skip over a report right, I won't do that in FTO.
Correct. Instructors will explain properly clearing sections while in pursuit of responding to a call. So this does say please go over the properly explain. If you go over 145 miles an hour, you will get a CD. The exception of this is our ADU unit. We say if you are highway patrol and it's over 120 miles an hour, you stand down no matter what. PSO and highway patrol, you stand down. The only people that go above 120 is ADU, and that's because they've been trained for that. Yes, you must wear seatbelt all the times. If accident does happen, notify supervisor, call PCFR. And again, if it's a highway accident, FHP will manage that as well. We already talked about repairing your vehicle out in the open. That's a CD. Instructors will also explain that an officer injuries are innocent persons, excluding the AI because he drove recklessly. It may result in dismissal. So basically, please understand that AI are people too. Go over pit maneuvers later. I will say this, if a pursuit is on the highway, Florida Highway Patrol has the final say if the pursuit goes on. Florida Highway Patrol units will take the lead of any pursuit that is on state highway. Highest ranking member online at the time can call pursuit at any time. Prior reports we're not going over. Disciplinary actions. We're almost done. Prohibited conduct. Consuming any amount of intoxicants while on duty, whether in uniform or civilian clothes. Hereafter referring to the Garcia policy, either in game or in real life. Engaging in discussion with other members while intoxicated in patrol channel. Riding any vehicle other than department vehicle to which assigned while in uniform is set when authorized in an emergency. Having any person make a request or recommendation that affects deputies of any member of service except as to provide by department procedures. Intentionally make a false official statement using discourteous or disrespectful remarks regarding another person's ethnicity, race, religion, gender identity / expression, sexual orientation, or disability. Only associated with any other person or organization advocating hatred, oppression, or disseminating disseminating defamatory material. Engage in any political activity nor endorse any political candidates for public office. So 2020 election, you can't say that because you're LEO. Engage in nepotism, favoritism, or shunning less popular members of the department. CDs or command disciplines are recommended for misconduct that is more problematic than poor training, but does not rise in the level of charges. Command disciplines will be issued to all officers who break regulation or fail to obey lawful or orderly orders from a supervisor. Officers can accumulate up to 3 command disciplines prior to termination from the department. Officers may be terminated also depending on the level of the offense or offenses committed. This is up to the command staff and approval of the head of the department. Suspension and termination. Suspension, basically when you're suspended, you're off duty. It's usually if you've done something serious and it's not worth the CD, they can suspend you, or you can get a CD and be suspended. It's up to the discretion of the supervisor or the command staff. Termination is you're fired. Basically, you can, so with that, in termination, you can go ahead and you can try to appeal it. I will talk about that in a second. But with the appeal process, officers, you do have the right to process in any form, whether legal or within the department. Officers have the right to a legal recourse to dispute any and all legal actions. Officers that face command discipline may dispute any charges by going up to the chain of command and requesting a formal dispute of command staff. And as of TeamSpeak conduct, members of Vice Gaming Network will adhere to all community rules. VGN has rules for conduct for TeamSpeak server, and all members will respect the community. TeamSpeak rules can be found in official TeamSpeak under rules tab. Members who violate these terms subject command discipline. Alright, so that's the oath of office. So here's what we're going to do. So as far as shooting calls, you are going to practice your first one and go your next one. Unfortunately, because we have so many people, what your second score is, that's what it's going to be. As far as you doing your EVOC course, we'll talk about that when we get there. Matthews can talk about what he's going to talk about with that. Let's go ahead, Matthews, if you can you go ahead and move us, let's see, who was with Mike 8, move Mike H. Buckley, Jones, and John S. to the sheriff training. And then I want to say Alexander was down there as well, but I think he...
I don't know what's going on.
I'm so tired.
Good. All right, everyone. Here's what's going to happen. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go from left to right, so whoever this is right here, follow me. All of you actually follow me. What's going to happen is you're going to take your pistol out. You're going to click E, go to normal, go to 20 targets. I'm going to show you real quick. I would suggest doing this first person.
You're going for body shots or headshots?
You want to go center of mass as much as possible. More points for center of mass. You will reload once. Don't worry about that. Just move on to the next target. Alrighty. And then it will show up the score. I will be writing down your scores. Let me get to our EVA. Let's get 1 second. Pistol qualification is 50. You must get 50 on normal difficulty with combat pistol. With an AR, you must score 70. You get 1 practice, and then from there you go to our real one. So let me go ahead and make a Google Doc. Unless someone already has docs pulled up. All right, so who's the first one going up?
Jones.
All right, Trooper Jones.
Go look, man.
All right, go ahead. E, go to normal, do 2. I would recommend, again, first person, aim your pistol and hit your scroll wheel, and it will take you first to the immediately to the iron sights.
Yeah.
You want to aim like maybe like 3 centimeters a little above the iron sights. So.
All right.
All right, going ready. This would be your practice. Yep, this would be your practice.
Wait, how do you aim down sights?
Zoom in, use your scroll wheel. I'm gonna eat my Taco Bell while you guys are shooting.
Well, that wasn't good.
Not bad for your first one. All right, go again. You're one practice and 1 full. So Jones, go again. Again, breathe, take your time. Make sure you have a decent DPI on your mouse.
Oh, it's all the way down.
I would give yourself a little bit of leeway with it too, so that you can do a little bit of flicking. So
yeah.
Do you recommend doing mouse or controller with this?
Mouse. All right, fire when ready.
I don't see the option.
Oh, step away, and then go back up to it. Did it show you? Drew Johns, I'm gonna go ahead and take your first score.
Alright.
Alright, who's next?
John.
I'll
go ahead.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, man.
It's whoever. Go ahead. This is...
Guys aiming their guns, aiming their weapons not downrange.
John S. Fire when ready.
What'd you say?
On the mouse, I hold in right click.
So you right click, yep. If you think you can do it better on controller, then you can. But I suggest mouse.
I got code zeroed.
That would do it.
I got green hair. What the hell?
Normal.
One tap that beach.
Go like, man.
Yes, you should be on normal. Normal 20. Normal 20, and then go ahead and start when you're ready.
This guy is not hitting anything. Poor guy. Oh, this is scary. It's getting better.
All right, again. Your last one. Walk up to it, press E.
See here. See how he does. I mean, my score the first time was just fucking terrible too. It's a hard game to use to aim in, especially if you're not like, you don't have 10,000 hours in the game like a lot of these guys do.
All right, next.
What did he get? God, I didn't. All right, let's see what his totals here. So we had.
Who's this?
Points 41.
DJ, sorry.
Actually, he did pretty good.
All right. Buckley.
John didn't do that bad. This guy's doing pretty well. Let's see.
If you would like, you can keep that score and we can move on.
Yeah, man, just to save time.
All right. So let me go ahead and get Jones up with your AR. Good job on that.
Thank you.
That's you met minimum. Again, just because you don't pass these doesn't mean you pass for Phil Academy. It just means that you may need a little work on the front of. Yep. All right. So who's next? Jones with your AR. Normal, 20 targets, fire when ready.
Alright.
Hold on, before he starts, do you got any tips for him about the drop?
Yeah, where's is this going where I pointed or
Yeah, let me check it. It should be.
Like, do you want to do a test round first again?
Let me, well, yeah, you still can do a test round. Here, I'll give you a, let me get this real quick so I can show you. I'll do 10 targets. Pretty much, it should pretty much be point and shoot.
Okay.
If you use your iron sight, you should be good to go. All right. All right. Whenever you're ready.
you gotta get 70?
Yeah, what's your score?
It's 36.
Alright, go again. Again, you get 2 goes.
I didn't think I did that bad.
Enter. You
wait,
shoot.
question.
You were double going with it. So any shot that you miss on top of it will affect your score.
Oh, okay, that's what I was getting ready to ask. Like,
Again,
is it just one bullet will make the target disappear?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Fire when ready. Wow. I mean, if you weren't consistent, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna be honest, that's impressive.
I thought I did all right.
John, go ahead. You. I'm actually impressed that you got the same score on both. I would almost...
Look at it this way. That means statistically, you should improve at a pretty steady rate.
Yeah.
To get the same score twice like that? Wow. That's insane.
John, fire when ready.
Good luck, bud.
That's shooting twice.
You just have to click it once.
What I'm doing.
Alright, yeah, sometimes it will shoot twice. Just reload. And then start the course. Whoever's shooting, please stop shooting.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
What's the minimum?
70.
I guess I'm just terrible.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 70.
There's a lot of factors, man.
Yeah.
It's alright. You're good. I can score. I think normally on this I get like a pretty high score on the pistol. I think I get 70 in pistol. But I've been here a lot, so
yeah.
Curious to see what I could have actually got on pistol, but like trying to get this. You know what I mean? Like for me, it's not that bad. I live on mountain time, so it's like 9 o'clock at night. But for the East Coasters,
it's 11:30.
Yeah.
All right, John, I'll take your highest score, Buckley.
Let's get it.
Fire when ready. What are you doing?
I timed out.
Who did? All right, one more.
Oh, I got it this time.
Go for it. Go for gold. Frank, can you go outside and spawn me a, actually, Hopewell, if you want, go spawn me a cargo bob?
Yep. Almost done out there.
Fuck.
Well, I guess you suck.
I suck. But hey,
Oh,
62
wow.
and 62.
Hey, I'll take consistency. Alright. Yeah, it's... Alright, outside, boys. Let's go.
No, but does anybody actually hit 70 on the AR?
Yeah.
First try?
Probably not.
son of a bitch.
Highest I got when I did mine was 68 on the AR. That was on my second try.
Yeah, I was close. I was in the 60s as well. But now I'm like in the 80s or the 90s.
So like 63 ain't bad.
Correct. I mean, none of your scores were terrible. I think it just shows it's really just a base so that you know where you need to go.
Oh, like we like redo them then every so often.
I marked it for you. Course is at Sandy.
I thought there was one here this year.
That'd be cool if we could actually get range time.
Well, whenever this training server is up, feel free to come in here, because that's what I did, and that's why my shooting's so good. I actually don't shoot first person, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither. So, like, if you could, like, use the range, like, for third person shooting, like, that'd be dope.
I don't think I've ever shot in like first person. I've always done it in third.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't practice in the way you played.
So what's next then, Daddy Keller?
EVOC.
What is that?
It's the training course for your vehicle.
Hopefully they're done.
This is great too. I'm glad. Oh, look, you just ran this. I'm glad we're doing it while it's raining.
Do we have to beat lap times? Please say yes.
Yeah, you have to do it in 2:10 or lower.
Ooh.
Record is
No, if you get a good time here, is this how you get into the ADU?
No.
Damn.
If you do get a low time, I'll definitely it's definitely considered. All right, so do me a favor. You're gonna go ahead. What's his face? Did Jones get back in here?
I don't believe so.
Where'd he go?
I think he timed out. He's not.
Oh, he's in the waiting room.
Oh yeah, that was
he
good.
just
That was a good one.
What happened?
Jones is in the waiting room above us.
Yeah, I saw him. I've been messaging him the password. Someone needs to pull him over. All right, to all the troopers who are doing this course.
Oh.
Alexander, if you want to spawn me a Maverick.
My hat. My hat.
Like me.
A police Maverick. And the helicopters. Alright, to all the recruits, get my vehicle.
Is this you?
I'm with the lights on. One with the lights on. Turn around, everybody by the helicopter, by the helipad.
I'm in here.
Alright, do I have three oh, Jones isn't.
You got
Jones, are you
2
there?
troopers.
Jones, can you hear me?
I'm
Or
rejoining
John's?
right now.
I'm here.
Are you rejoining the server, Jones?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, it's John's.
I'm gonna go pick him up.
Is the Crown Vic an option for FHP or not?
Wait until we get the other Crown Vic.
Oh, okay. It's just that I hate Chargers.
We have the Explorer too.
Okay.
The mechanics for PSO and FH are the same.
That's better than a Charger.
They're not the same. You just have they're different handling models.
So should I practice or do this in the PSO?
Yeah, we'll make sure to get a Taurus out for you. Who's in front of me? Who is that? 322. Jones, whenever you spawn in. Probably Matthews. That so that BOD vehicle to our right is what's going to be our new Crown Vic.
Ooh, yes.
One of them.
Yes.
But no, it isn't. Sorry, but it won't be. That's only going to be for supervisors. It only comes in slick top.
Yes, they're skinning another Vic for us to use.
Right. Yeah. It's like the old one, but it has a little different lighting.
Yeah, and it looks a little more bulkier.
Are we gonna eventually like get any supercars? Like.
No, because FHP doesn't have any supercars.
Yeah, it's gotta be real sick. Jones, you in the server yet, bro?
I'm joining. It's almost downloading.
Okay. Whenever you load in, just run outside of the hangar if you load into the same spot, and I'll pick you up in the chopper and fly you over.
Alright.
Yeah, I only want to take you guys through this one time. And then we'll go through it. I can have Matthews teleport him to me if we need to. When he loads in. I'm going to do that.
I'm in the game.
Alright, hold on.
Everybody has their own personal FTO, or?
So, since we're waiting for him, can you touch back on the partner thing?
Partner stuff is.
I spawned in the city.
Because like me and my buddy actually joined today at the same day.
So you just have to request, hey, can he ride with me?
Oh, okay. Like to like Matthews or like Hopewell or. Like, is that who I would ask?
Yep. Anybody that's a FTO, and I'm pretty sure PSO FTOs can take FHP recruits now, and vice versa.
Oh, so if there's not an FHP field training officer, you're like, okay.
You can go and see if there's one for PSO.
Does it still count? Okay,
yes.
but will it still count as one of your 3 though?
It should, as long as they log it.
Okay.
And they're an FTO.
Yeah, I spawned in the middle of the city, so.
I got you. I'm right here next to you.
Okay.
And I don't know how, like, if there is no, like, I don't know how it is for FHP, for PSO. If there is nobody to do, like, nobody FTOs, you can run along with another PSO officer, but it will not count, and they will be doing everything.
So, like, you can do more than 3 just in case you're not comfortable yet?
Well, you can. Well, that's the thing. You can ride around.
Can you not see me?
Alright, you can ride, so like, when I was doing my stuff, Alexander let me ride around with him for like 12 hours one time, and so, really you don't necessarily need to be, it doesn't have to be an FTO when you're riding along, they just don't count.
There you go, hop in.
John, hurry up, man, what are we doing?
We're trying to conduct official police business, damn it.
What happens when you do the academy for too long? You sound like the old man in that 70s show.
Jones, you there?
Oh, Red. Red. Red's the best.
Did Jones time out again?
No, I'm here.
Well, get in.
Bro, I don't see you.
Really don't see me.
I do not see. I don't know what happened. I have a cowboy hat on, a mask, and a green jacket. I don't know what's happening. I don't see you.
Close 5M or... Tell me if you can see this. You see this?
Oh, now I see you.
Okay, get in this shop. This one work.
Do I look like I have weird clothes on to you?
No. So we go off EUP, so anytime you crash or leave the server or whatever, you need to fully close 5M and then relaunch 5M, or then yes, you're gonna see people wearing cowboy shit and all that weird shit.
I was wondering.
It's not a big deal right now. We'll just have to deal with people wearing weird shit.
This is what it looks like when you're running out of gas, by the way.
Yeah, can't really set lap times if you don't have any fuel.
So once we get through the course, I'm going to show you guys what we're going to do. And
Are they done and out of your way yet?
Yeah, they're heading out now. If we're going to go through the course once, and then once we do that, you guys we will get individual vehicles and you can do the course there. Now, please understand, it is raining, so that means everything is going to be way more slip. It's going to cause different handling and all that stuff. So
are you going to take that into consideration on our lap times?
So if you're like 312 but you did the course really well, or you're at 350 or not 312, 212 or 215, can you stop shuffling, please? Then that's, you know, permissible, because it is wind conditions, or it is non-clear conditions, so it's a little different.
And the normal time is what?
Normal time is 210.
210's the time to beat.
But it doesn't pass or fail you.
Okay. It's just the bar. It's like a concussion test.
Alright, let's get back.
Gotta set a baseline.
Alright, hold on.
You guys ever had to take a concussion test, like playing sports and shit?
No.
Bruh. Talk about some shit that makes you feel stupid.
You know what day it is? Who's the president? What's your birthday?
No, it's not even like that. It's like, look at these 27 different shapes, and then you're like, okay, and then you hit next, and then it's like, how many squares did you see?
Who's flying the Mustang?
Yeah, it's my patrol.
Oh, is that your Mustang?
Mm-hmm.
There's a police Mustang.
It's, is it from Cali?
Yeah, turn the lights back on. Leave the lights on. Leave the lights
on. It's a BOD vehicle.
I wish there was lights in the rims.
All right, is our guy here yet?
How many more lights do you want? This thing's already Christmas tree.
Get in the vehicle, whoever. Johns, can you get in the one with the lights on?
Can I do my lap time in that thing?
Where am I getting in?
Just get in my vehicle.
I'll crush 210.
Surprisingly enough, this fucking thing is slow as shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a BOD vehicle. So, all right, guys. So here's what's gonna happen. You can turn brights on as well. So you're gonna get to this line. I'm gonna say whenever you're ready. So you're gonna go ahead. You're gonna start. Make sure you're paying attention. You get to as close to this thing as you can. Did I hit it on your guys' screen?
No.
Okay. Oh, then my light's out because. All right. So when you're going backwards, it's really touchy, so you have to be careful. So get to this thing.
You hit that.
Yeah, I didn't see that on my screen. It like super glitched or something.
Desync will do it. So don't worry about it.
So then you'll come all the way down here. I would start slowing down about right here because again it's wet. I've done this course so many times. My record's like 149.50 or something like that. Up here. Turn. If your vehicle is injured in any way, you will not make this turn. So, as you can see, it's tight butthole through there.
Tight butthole.
You're gonna start on the left. You're gonna weave in and out of these. Then you're gonna reverse. Again, I'd recommend doing that kind of slow. It's okay, just take your time.
This is probably easier on controller.
Oh, absolutely.
You're gonna drive straight through.
Don't plan to watch this.
And I'll be in a helicopter the whole time, so.
Don't cheat. Can we get one test run and then...
You would like, yep, you can do that.
If you pass the first time, though, I think we should just call it good.
Like, let me do this shit in a futo
and then done. That's time right there.
What's the time you have to beat again?
2:10.
Alright, so ahead and go and get out your vehicles. Get out this vehicle. Get out your vehicles, and let's start with same as we did, Jones.
How do I get my hat back?
Go on your MP ped. Who's flying? Okay, I'll get on the side here.
Cool.
So we're doing a practice run before?
Yep, John, you can go ahead and start practice run. I'm going to time both times. Get to that stop, get to the stop line, and then I'll tell you. You can actually, I would just tell you when to start. Be careful not to go too high. I would like to be able to see him.
All right.
You can have multiple people going at once if you want to get this done quicker.
Yeah. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
And go. We'd have to have someone with them in the vehicle to keep their times.
I'll go with, I'm gonna get out and go with this next person so we can have multiple people go. Okay. Let's go. Alright, whoever wants to come up next, get up here. You're ready.
And then make sure you're timing him.
Yep, I am. Alright.
Bumper on the line or wheel on the line?
Bumper.
Yeah, just bumper. 2 seconds.
Make sure you are parallel on parking that. It's still okay, but make sure you're at least parallel parking it.
Is he past the reverse point yet? That's what I'm waiting for.
I'll wait till he gets through this turn, and then I'll let him go. 1 second.
Yep. Just because he's gonna have to weave through the cones again.
Yeah.
And then whoever's my co-pilot, can you just give me a countdown on
yep,
go?
I will.
Making good times. Keep it up.
Alright. Alright, you ready?
Yep.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go.
Stop. Then go back reverse. Now go through forward. Make sure you're weaving in and out.
Okay.
Yes, go through the cones. Go through the cones.
Rip.
If they crash once, they're done, right?
No, just keep going. If their vehicle fails, then they're done.
I need to get my controller out for the next run.
I think you could still make this work, though.
Keep pressing on. Keep going. Hurry.
Driving.
.201.
Did that pass?
That's a pass.
All right.
Do you want to keep that, or you want to go again?
I'll keep it. I think that's good.
That's actually a really good time. My first ever time was 2:08.
I got kind of confused.
Because I'm a very competitive person.
There you go.
It's alright if I leave and rejoin while they're doing theirs so I can like see everyone right?
Backwards, yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright.
Does one of you guys want to go with the PSO deputy that needs to go?
No, car's dead.
Yep, there you go. Extra. Go back to the beginning. You're at 143 right now.
I can, but I'm in the helicopter. Yeah.
Hop back in.
Just extra?
Yep, just extra for now.
Or hold down A and see if it'll let you repel.
how do I extra again? I forget, man.
F1, vehicle related options.
There it is.
Vehicle options, and then just toggle one on and off. Go. Alright.
Yeah, let me use my, here, let me finish this with my controller, if that's cool.
Sure. I would recommend a controller because it's very much easier.
Land it down real quick, Alexander.
Fuck.
Oh no, I think it's stuck.
I wish you could lock the camera.
Alright, the trick also isn't to go super fast.
No, I'm glitched.
Repeat
No.
your car.
Oh. And then, what's E-brake?
Alright, who's this?
RB. I'll be back, Alexander. Just land.
Okay, whoever you gonna time him? Alright, you're ready. Go ahead whenever you're ready then.
Alright, go whenever. Go ahead and start.
That back door's bothering you.
Extra your car though, if it's bothering you. Extra on and off. There you go.
Alright, are you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, come on up here. I'll go with you again. You gotta remember, you need to go fast, but you don't need to go so fast that you're gonna lose control of the car.
Yeah.
As long as you keep your pace at a good steady pace, you'll make it through it.
Mm-hmm.
You ran into that first cone in the beginning, didn't you? Happened, bud.
Oh, you'll never lose them. When I'm in a pursuit, I stay at least 2 semi-lengths away from them. Right, it feels like they don't need to clutch it as hard, and in the real world, you're back there just lollygagging around, just keeping up with them, not really, you know, putting yourself in harm's way. Alright, you ready? Alright, go.
Oh, wait.
Whenever you're ready, as soon as you go, I'll start.
Oh, okay. Can this guy get out of the road? Thanks, man. God fucking damn it. We're good. I honestly don't know if I'm better off using the keyboard or the mouse, or the controller.
Frank, what was his time?
2:13.
Where did you stop it at?
Right there at the green.
Oh, right. Dude, that's got yellow engine. I'm not even going to be able to finish the lap.
So, I don't know how you want to do it, Frank. We usually stop ours right at the end of the cone. So, do you want to stop it at the green, or do you want to stop it before?
It doesn't matter.
Go again.
So we'll take the three seconds off since he stopped it at the, we'll just say 209. Because just to stop it at the cones and keep it consistent. So is there, guess you want to go again?
Alright, this time I
want to go again there?
I don't think I'm going to
repair my car, or?
Yeah, we can repair your car.
I don't think I'm going to use my controller. I think I'm going to use the keyboard and mouse. I'm just going to go super fucking slow through the reverse parts.
Whatever you want to do. Just remember, you got to beat that time still, though.
You want me to just use?
just use the F1 menu to repair. Just do like a go through there, go to the vehicle options, and then
see how you're going through it. Well,
and then hit an extra, and then just click the extra off again, and it'll repair the vehicle. Perfect. Go ahead and get back lined up and get ready to go here.
Alright, no, I got it this time.
Light bar?
Alright,
what was it?
And get ready to go again.
What was that?
Is it supposed to have that light bar?
Yeah. No, you can't have that one and the other one. You only can have either or.
Because right now it's slick top.
Yeah. The slick top you can have. So if you see the lights at the top there, on the front window, you can either have that one or the light bar. You can't have both.
Alright, Buckley. Alright, just go ahead and extra it.
What?
Go ahead and extra it and repair it.
Oh, okay.
So whenever you're ready, just go ahead.
Right.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go.
Who's in the car with me? What's your name, man?
Mike.
Mike, you have to give me some friendship power.
Friendship power?
You give me something here, man.
Let's see. You got this.
I'll tell you when he's ready to go.
I got a question.
Go.
So, I've joined the server twice and it keeps kicking me because I failed a god mode check. So
what's it say when it says failed god mode check?
It says it says cheating is not tolerated in this community, and it says failed god mode check. So
turn your god mode off.
It said possible mod menu, so
turn your god mode off.
I don't have it though.
Sometimes it just happens if you have guns that are blacklisted, like rail guns and shit, then from another server that uses the V menu, and you come over here with them, it will also kick you out until they're all out of your inventory.
I mean, it was fine earlier. I haven't changed anything since.
Alright, ready to go?
Restart 5M.
Alright, I'm ready, man.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Alright. Go ahead and remember. It's nice and easy. Not a huge rush. Take the corner slow, straightaways fast.
You're right on time. And time.
Good, full reverse it.
What's the time on that?
1:51.
Perfect.
Damn it.
No, it's alright. Nice and easy. Corner slow, gas. Fucking Tron bike here.
The handling miles in the other service. In the other server. I wish it was in this one.
There you go, slow. There you go. Not too slow though. There you go, nice and easy. Nice and easy.
Take those reverse slow, please.
Yep. Go ahead.
God damn it.
I think you're trying so hard that you're taking yourself out.
Yeah, I really am.
Just saying you got plenty of time, so take it slow. One last corner here. Plenty of time, bro.
And time.
Fuck.
205?
204.
Oh, nice.
See, like, I'll never be able to do that track efficiently just because, like, I don't use a controller, and going reverse with a keyboard and mouse is impossible. It's impossible. So, like, I was kind of in this limbotic state that I was like, okay, I just gotta do it fast enough with the controller to pass. Like, fuck it. You wanna know why I got that time, Mike? Friendship power.
Something like that.
It's the sound of the police.
Yeah, he was 151.
Yep, seen
151.99.
I want to see, I wonder if, like, hold on. I kind of want to, like, keep my controller beside me, and then, like, when it comes to the reverse parts, just hurry up and switch to my controller. And then go back to my keyboard.
See, I only drive with my controller, and when it's time for me to get out of my vehicle, I switch keyboard and mouse. So I put the controller right back down on my lap.
See, I might start doing that.
It is so much easier to drive with the controller that I found. I've tried to do keyboard and mouse, and it's just inefficient for me.
See, I can drive perfectly fine with keyboard and mouse, unless you're going in reverse. So, what are we doing now? Are we waiting for Hopewell's group to get done?
All right, boys. So Tyrone's gonna come and take the rest. Again, it's just up to you. You guys are gonna do 1031Bs next, and as well as pitting. So he's gonna show you pits and all that other stuff. I have to go because I have to be up super early tomorrow. So you guys have a good night. Thank you so much for being here. This is the largest FHP class I've seen since I've joined. So guys, thanks for joining FHP. And I know the PSO is glad to have you, John. So you guys have a good one, okay?
Thanks, Daddy Keller.
Tyrone.
Yeah.
Did you already cover the pits and all that in your group?
Believe so. Oh no, not yet. I say we just get them all together.
I'm gonna say combine them all, then we'll just talk about them. Do we actually have to show them?
It's all in the training manual.
Like, I don't think. Does anybody really need a demonstration on what pit maneuver is?
Yeah, like we can do a demonstration in FPO.
Hit back wheel hard. They
like
spin.
On, you come up beside them, you fucking put your bumper in their back, front bumper and back bumper here. You put your foot all the way down and fucking turn your damn wheel and put your foot down. I don't know. It's not rocket science.
It's just it. Who's in this car? This white car? Just start rolling.
Yep, exactly. You pit them and you're, It's a little different when you're doing, say, 70 down the fucking highway. They pit.
Yeah. When you're at 60 miles per hour, they just go.
Yep. And into the guardrail they go.
They probably end up dying because they're probably dumbasses and they don't have their seatbelts on anyways. Yeah. So essentially, when you pit maneuver, you have to scrape meat up off the highway. Is this the new daddy?
Look at Tyrone here with the shotgun. Get out of here.
Whenever I try to change my pants,
what is that?
I think I'm in Gotham.
My patrol car.
Want me to go for a rip in it?
No.
What the fuck you mean no? I'm your boss.
No. I only have one boss. Sorry to inform you. Happy wife, happy life. Revive me, bitch.
Hey! Who the hell is shooting me?
Maybe
stop it. We must be friends.
Someone revive me. So we can get
Not until I get my new car.
Oh wait, this is good practice. Hold on. Hold on. Oh fuck, hold on, don't tell me.
What's your ID?
I don't fucking know. 23.
Doctor. MD. Aha. /MD. Doesn't say anything.
Because it's not on this server.
Okay.
But on the Yep.
Okay, so let's get a move on. So everybody knows how to pit correctly.
Oh, won't let me do that either.
F6 menu.
Well, if we don't think we need to demonstrate really how to pit. Obviously, if it's not really rocket science on how to pit, everybody knows how to pit. You've seen it done, so it's not really rocket science on how to do one. Obviously, if speeds are above, I think it's 100 miles or 110 miles an hour, you're not authorized to pit unless you're part of the advanced driving unit. Right, you need to, if you are asking for a pit, you need to call out one of two things. You need to first call out your unit number, so mine's 320, so it's 320 requesting a pit. Traffic is light, okay? Road conditions are clear, so that's the first thing. How's the traffic and how's the road conditions? Is it fucking snowing? Is it raining? Is it slippery? All that. If it's raining or snowing, guess what? You're not pitting. If it's clear, blue skies outside, the traffic is light, then the supervisor, whoever it is, will most likely approve you for the pit as long as the traffic is clear.
Alrighty. So we're gonna go ahead and do 1031s, and you guys are gonna practice your pits basically. So go ahead and grab your patrol cars, make sure you're fueled up, ready to go.
Now repair.
I'm just saying I got the wrong pants on, but if I try to change it, it kicks me because I think I have a mod menu, so it's gonna have to stay this way.
So, Tyrone, I already let them know that they need to, first one calling out a pit, it needs to be, you need to call out two things, the weather conditions and the traffic conditions. And you need to call, obviously, I told them that you need to call for a supervisor to approve.
Speeds as well.
Right, and speeds, yep. So, like I told them, I think it's 110. If you're going above 110, you're not authorized for a pit unless you're in like a, the advanced driving unit.
I think it's 80 miles an hour is like a dangerous speed. Anything above that, you probably won't get approved.
How fast are you allowed to go if you are not ADU in general?
120 and you call it off.
120 is when you usually call a pursuit off. Once you get anything above that, yeah, you're going too fast.
And then how fast can ADU go?
Your cars really ain't gonna do much faster than that. Your car's maxed out will do like 140, 150.
And then how fast will ADU go?
Well, they put turbos and shit on their cars, so they'll go a little faster. They can cut out, I think, at 180.
All of you get your vehicles. We're gonna make our way to the highway. So have they went over traffic stops and all that shit? What
Yes,
have they
we already
gone over?
covered all of that.
Traffic stops, felony stops, you did all that?
We already did all that. Literally, we just have to do the pits, and then we need to do 211s, and we've literally covered everything else.
Oh, robberies
Keller
and
literally
whatnot.
stopped and talked for like a good fucking hour.
We're also gonna do... I say we do robberies, but we're gonna do robberies all together, and we're gonna have a bigger team inside the bank.
We're doing robberies still? Oh my fucking Christ, this is why Academy's last 6 fucking years.
Well, you guys are almost done. You passed the big 2 tests.
I don't know, I was 211's last and longest.
Alrighty, where is everyone? Other side, okay, I'll be right there. So basically set up as if you're running radar, okay? If a few of you guys want to spread out down the highway, be further down. Some of you
prepared. I'm smoking out.
I
Extra your car.
apologize.
Just extra your car. For now. Obviously you don't do that.
So if a couple of you guys want to be a little bit further down between mile marker B and C, by all means do it. Somebody is going to be the initiating officer doing the call when you radar me heading southbound. Basically, you're gonna, in this scenario, you're gonna work on your callouts for 1031s. So you're gonna give a vehicle description. Once you guys are all in formation and basically on my ass, you can try and call for a pit. So
Question.
I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Is it you're just attempting at 1050? Whenever somebody goes zooming past you like that, does it turn into a 1031 whenever they seem not to be pulling over?
So if you notice if you're trying to pull someone over, then that would be a 1050. If they're obviously not stopping and they're continuing to go, then it turns into a 1031.
Okay.
If you notice they're evading you, so don't be too quick to call 1031s out.
Okay, so yeah, so if somebody goes zooming just over the radio, hey, attempting at 1050, the car is blah 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 blah, we're on blah 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 this road.
Alrighty, let me know when they're ready, Mike.
They're ready.
You guys ready?
You all spread out? Yeah, you're in a tight little area, but you're spread somewhere.
Who is this right here? Oh, it's Mike. You want to get in with me? Make this interesting?
Can't believe you're driving that piece of shit.
Well, it's a Civ car.
Dude, this is a fucking real car right here.
Here I come.
Jesus, mother of God.
Oh, right. Unit 324, I'm attempting at 1050. Car is a white two-door sports car heading down Sonora Freeway.
Okay, no, it should be a red sports car. That's why there needs to be one vehicle. We can't have everybody in the pursuit vehicle. Yeah, well, we're gonna have 2 separate classes. So it's gonna be pursuit. That's why I want you to them to practice. Basically, because it's gonna be procedure. If one person, it's gonna be an actual pursuit, is what we're gonna do. It's gonna be up and down the freeway, basically. Basically, from what I'm gonna do, there's gonna be some officers who crash, so the next person in line is going to have to initiate. And we're gonna go through and make sure everyone has successfully gone over a pit maneuver. Where is everybody right now? Are you all in line?
I mean, we're all kind of behind the white sports car.
Yeah. Okay, everyone go back in position. I'm gonna go ahead and fly by you again.
Okay, I'll go back to where I was sitting.
Because it's also, for the 1031s, we want them to learn that, like,
So we get to watch
secondary goes on to callouts. We want them to know actual proper procedure so the main guy can try to initiate a pit maneuver. Those of you in the background, be prepared for anything.
Alright,
This could be a violent shooter. This could just be some street racer.
Just give me 1 second because my hotkey is the same to mute my mic in TeamSpeak is the same hotkey for the sirens.
Oh yeah, definitely change. If you want a suggestion, numpad 0. It's a big button. Or numpad 3. Once you set your statewide comms, I'd suggest numpad 0.
Let me know when you guys are prepared. Make sure you fix your cars, because this is gonna be like a
We
full-scale
got
pursuit.
Monkey tuning in from Aruba.
If
Who
one of you,
watches
if one of the higher
GTA
up
from
guys,
Aruba?
If you want to be Air 1,
Oh yeah, that's right. You're watching
you're
me.
totally
Never
by
mind.
all
Thank
means.
You're talking, right?
Yeah, did you not hear me?
No.
So if one of the higher ups wants to be Air up or Air 1 and monitor from above.
Where the hell are you nuts, Aaron?
Yeah, I'll get up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be heading that way.
Having a hard time alt-tabbing back in. May not be good.
Call out?
God damn it, dude. I can't believe this thing is being like this. Stop.
Heading north on Sonora Freeway. Wait, no, south on Sonora.
What the fuck is going on with this shit? Here's how we fix this little problem. Problem solved.
Third, 1 kilo 2 third.
So since you guys are going over 120, do you want us to like just keep coming behind you?
Keep going.
We get locations.
They just got off the freeway heading east. I think he's getting back on the highway. Going northeast on Los Santos Freeway.
These guys, where are they? Oh, they're here. Here we go.
He's driving down the wrong side of the road. Still heading north.
I really appreciate none of you came on this side of the barrier. Good job.
It should be like coming right at us here.
Notice the speed.
Oh, here they are.
342 requesting pit. Light traffic going around 80 miles an hour.
Kilo 2, permission granted.
There he goes.
Put your hands up.
Watch your car spot.
This guy doing?
What now?
Oh, they're back this way. I thought that was the pursuit vehicle, but it wasn't. Oops.
Alrighty, so basically there needs to be a little bit more communication. I didn't get told anything. I don't know who you are. You have to identify yourself.
These guys are being completely
I don't
radio
have
silent.
taser.
Why is this music coming through, dude? I don't understand where this is
You do
coming
need
from.
to identify yourself as a law enforcement officer, whether it's FHP or PSO. You're going to want to make sure that I'm facing away from all of you guys, and you're going to have somebody go secure the suspect.
Who's that talking now? Who was that?
That is Sergeant Baracco.
Was that the
Boy,
one
So
that's
you-
running?
So you guys are going to have
the
to be
worst
on top
training
of that. Which one of you did that pimp maneuver?
Me, Jones.
Okay, perfect. well executed. So this time we're gonna have a different person take priority on engaging that pit maneuver. We're not gonna redo the whole scenario. So we'll go ahead and repair your cars and just get rid.
Is it alright if I like go get gas? Cause I kind of have like no gas.
Yep. Whoever's next, whoever has gas, is ready.
You want me to go even if I'm PSO?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Same training. You're learning how to do a pit maneuver, how to request it.
I was just wondering since it was on highway.
Alrighty, so that's you behind me or?
No, that's me. I don't. He went up ahead with the trooper.
Is he going to get fuel or?
I'm guessing.
No, I'm just sitting up here.
He's sitting on the side of the road waiting for you guys.
You want me to do a flyby again?
Oh, he's facing the wrong direction though.
Yeah, I'll turn around.
Yeah, so just come back around.
Sorry about that, my game crashed during that last thing there. But yeah.
Alrighty, that was me. You're supposed to go. So you got something on your radar, speeding vehicle.
Alright,
You make your call out over the radio is the first thing you're gonna do.
1 kilo to attempting to 1050 St. or freeway. It'll be a red super car.
God, I gotta get a joystick, dude. It's so hard.
Looks like we actually doesn't look like he's gonna be pulling over.
Primary, this is 324. I'm in pursuit.
So secondary is going to take over callouts on which direction we go. Primary is going to go ahead and try and request the pit maneuver, updating weather conditions, speed, traffic conditions. So if you want to request the pit maneuver.
Yeah, I was in. Okay.
That's good practice for me to actually.
1 kilo 2 requesting pit maneuver. I cancel that. We're flipping around, going back.
You don't have to cancel. You're turning around. You just ask for the pit maneuver.
Alright. Requesting pit maneuver.
Direction of travel, speed, weather conditions.
Yeah, so you basically want to tell us where you are, tell us where you're headed, and tell us and then ask us what you want to do. So, hey, I'm heading north on Los Santos Freeway. I'm in pursuit of this vehicle, requesting, we're traveling this rate of speed. I'm requesting a pit.
Okay.
Don't worry, hey, we've all been there. You don't have to be nervous.
Yep. So, going down Los Santos Freeway, northeast, dry weather.
Speeds of
about 80, requesting pit.
Kilo 2, pit when Kilo 2, you can pit when you get on the straightaway.
I'm going in.
Finally starting to get this flying thing, boy.
This is 324 boxing in.
So pit was unsuccessful. You make sure you call that out.
324 pit unsuccessful. Unit still
1 kilo
moving.
2 is unavailable.
Go ahead and fix your car. We'll keep going. Just make sure you get a successful pit and you go for the box right away. You're never gonna land the first pit. But if you don't land it, just keep going. Unless your car's obviously written off, but
Alright. Going down Senior Freeway, northeast, speed's about 75, requesting pit, light traffic.
Mission granted, go ahead and pit.
Unit 324, preparing to box in.
No seatbelt.
Whoops. Yeah.
Oh.
Hands up.
Oops.
I'll keep my gun on him.
Oh, that was fun.
Somebody keep your eyes on him while I check the vehicle, please.
Kilo 2,
You get back.
He's back in the vehicle. He's back in the vehicle.
Get it. Step out of the vehicle.
That was pretty fun.
Kilo 2 shots fired. One suspect down.
Alrighty, so who was in front of my vehicle?
I was. I got one bullet off and you killed my ass.
Alrighty. So first step, especially with 1031 suspects, is you do not want to be in front of their vehicle whatsoever. So you're going to want to follow procedures. If you were a felony stop, you're going to want to position behind them in the V formation as was shown.
Numbers not divisible by 2.
Even like if you try and box them in front, if you're in front of that vehicle, you want to be ducked behind that car. You never know what they have inside that vehicle. So I just did that as an example. You were right in my line of sight.
So maybe next time, instead of actually doing that, just hunker down right here.
Not Bam Bam with 1337.
Yeah, like if you're in front of me, cutting me off because I'm against the wall, then by all means. If the vehicle's surrounded and you all have weapons drawn, you can usually kill them before. But don't be standing out in the open in front of a suspect's vehicle.
If you see where I was positioned it right there, I was actually positioned behind the vehicle where I was able to get a clear shot, and he would have been trying to get over top of that.
You never want to put yourself in harm's way, basically. Who else is left for pit maneuvers?
Me.
You? Are you ready?
Yeah, man. Let me just do my extra thingy real quick.
Go, Tyrone.
Yep.
Are we just gonna do like a rolling start then?
Yeah, no, we're just gonna start. As soon as you see me go, get ready.
Where's that music coming from?
3, 2, 1.
Alright, this is Unit 324. I've got a 1031 in progress. The vehicle is a red sports car heading north on Sonora Freeway at a very high rate of speed, 120 plus. Requesting additional units.
Oh, this bullshit.
1 Kilo 2, third.
I was like, where? I thought I was going crazy.
Unit has switched onto oncoming traffic, still reducing his speed, it appears.
I'm not interrupting them to ask them to res me since I crashed my own stupid ass.
He's still heading north.
Suspect just wiped out. Suspect just wiped out.
Tyrone doesn't know how to drive. Keep rolling.
Blocking him off here. Unit is still en route, still on the move.
No,
it is
got
boring ass
fucking
shit,
cut
dude.
off and hit a barrier.
1 Kilo 2 waiting for
1031 is still heading north on Sonora Freeway. Speed's 100 plus.
Alrighty. My
Kilo
car
1
is...
secondary continuous Norway west. West.
Dispatch requesting a pit maneuver. Weather conditions clear. Light traffic. Speed of 90 miles per hour.
Go ahead with the pit.
Pit attempt fail, going in for a second attempt. Pit attempt fail again. Suspect's vehicle is slowing down.
Oh!
Put your hands up.
Oh god!
Hands up.
Hands up.
Secondary officer, I've got a beeline on him. Go ahead and go for the arrest. I got eyes on the car.
I'm going up. Keep your hands where I can see them, alright? Alright, he's in. We got him in custody.
Secondary unit, clear the vehicle with me.
Have you guys gone over Mirandarizing as well?
Secondary.
Yeah, we have.
The vehicle in
Vehicle
3,
clear.
2, 1.
Do you want us to
clear?
do that?
No, as far as PSO, I think what we need to do is we need to get through the rest of the pitting maneuvers, making sure that and a lot of that stuff's going to be covered by our FTOs. Because at this point, we should be covering basics only, and then we should get out and let the FTOs do their jobs.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. So, because I mean, everybody's been in this for like several hours at this point, so we need to wrap up all the technical stuff. Yeah, it's brutal. It's too much. Not that anybody's doing a bad job. Everybody's doing great. It's just now we need to.
Listen, man, I'm not trying to be that guy, but it is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Well, it's a lot of information.
It's also very late.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Alrighty, so report rating. Obviously, your FTO is gonna go over that.
Someone please shut their sirens off.
I got you.
For the love of God.
What stage of the training are you guys in? I know I just got here late. I didn't expect this to still be going on at this point.
We just got done doing pit maneuvers.
So it's just a lot of people, Con. That's really what it is.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
That was the shooting range done already?
Yeah, shooting range is done. They've all pretty much done everything they need to do at this point, at least off the PSO.
Alrighty. Everyone's done pit maneuvers here.
We need to do 211s, and then I think we're totally done.
Yeah,
for the 211s, we're actually gonna combine them, and we're gonna have a big heist crew. So a lot of the FTOs here are gonna be involved.
But
yeah, so they
211s
yeah.
training?
Dude, that's what they want to do, a whole heist and everything.
No, see, we didn't do 211s in the last training.
No.
We're doing that right now.
No, it's too much, man. We can't ask these guys to do that. At least not on the PSO side. We can't ask them to do it.
So at least PSO side, we're going to be having advanced training for 211s and all that stuff. That won't be part of the remedial training in the beginning.
Yeah.
No problem.
Is that going to be like next weekend then?
No, that's every deputy needs to go through that, and the deputy could have been in our department for 2 months and go through it. It has nothing to do with the actual recruitment process. It's additional training past your ride-alongs.
Oh,
no, I mean all the new guys. They're going to be.
FHP people do that then.
I'm not sure. That would be up to Major Hopewell.
Okay.
On now.
What?
When would we do 211 trainings and stuff like that?
Is that not during the academy?
No, not that I'm
No,
We've always gone over briefly 10, maybe 15 minutes about what that 211 is like. Not an example, like we don't put civs in there or anything, but...
We'll see a lot of that stuff we cover with our FTOs, have them cover with the FTOs, because they get kind of real-world experience with an FTO going to a 211.
Right.
And then we're going to have some more advanced training.
Right, and I agree that the in-server experience is more valuable, but we do go over like the response and setting up the outside scene and what you should do, like checking the roofs, stuff like that. We don't necessarily go through interrogation techniques and stuff.
Is that something new?
No, FHP's always done that.
Okay. Yeah, because we never did that. I didn't do that on mine at all.
Okay, FHP always went over it, not briefly. We never did a scenario, but we'd go over it briefly.
Okay, well, according to Tolbert, we need to go over 211s.
Well, Tolbert's not fucking
Tolbert's not in charge.
Yeah.
No. I'd say skim over it. Do like the important stuff, like setting up the scene, checking, certain
Well,
things.
they're doing 211s in that group right now.
Okay, are they doing a scenario?
Yes, through just
they
a
don't
store.
need a whole scenario.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have already been in here for hours. It's a lot to ask for a scenario now.
Yeah, we're not really gonna do a scenario. Just go over the outside setup and stuff and carrying through with it, but we don't need to do a scenario. That's better done in server.
Alrighty, if you guys want to go over that, by all means.
When do we get assigned training officers or whatever then?
You aren't
Once they're
assigned
finished
one.
the academy.
Oh.
They aren't assigned, you just ride along with whatever FTO is available.
So,
Yep.
For PSO.
when you come into TeamSpeak, where should you go when you need
An FTO channel.
Patrol channels, yeah.
FTO channel. If you don't see anybody in the FTO channel, just hang out like the like a briefing channel or whatever. You can also, if you don't see anybody in the FTO channel, but you see an FTO on, you could record. You can request. You can be like 1 kilo 2 requesting right along with an FTO or above, and then you just wait around for that response. If you don't see nobody or don't hear nobody, you can, instead of waiting around, you could, ask FHP if they have somebody on, or you can ride along with the regular deputy. But remember, the regular deputy ride-alongs do not count as an FTO training.
Yep. So, should we briefly, Tyrone, talk about the 211s?
Yeah, if we want to go to like a store up here in Polito, we can go over just procedure.
I'm fine with that. Alright, let's go. So we're not sitting
actually, let's go to the gas station right behind us. So I don't think there is a store there, is there? There is a bank.
Let's just do the bank, yeah, just do the bank.
Okay.
Oh, we want to race, let's go.
Yeah, I'll fucking smoke you.
Dude, this BOD charger goes faster than anything in the game. I don't know what you're smoking. Yeah, look at that PSO.
Who's running the training? Who's running the training in this channel?
Alright, I guess that'd be me.
Okay. Yeah, I think we just need to discuss when the call out for robberies come out. What do we do when we get there? Where do we stage up? And who's in charge on the scene? And then I think we're good to go there.
And make I would briefly cover breaching, since not everyone is aware how breaching works.
Yep.
Also, scene safety too. It's a big
Everybody
thing.
runs
Making sure
in
people
holding down the trigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what you don't do.
Alright, I'll leave you guys to it.
Alrighty, so basically you're gonna go ahead and when you first arrive on scene, if you are the first person, you're going to make callouts and observe the area. Do not approach the front of the doors until you have backup on scene. You're gonna kind of want to search the entire area, rooftops, alleyways, everywhere around the area. Kind of observe, make sure that there aren't other individuals hiding elsewhere. No one's gonna get shot when they arrive on scene. Once you have other officers on scene, the primary officer is going to take front and go try and make contact with the individuals inside, figure out if there's hostages, what their demands are. Usually you'll have a tactical response team. You're not going to be pressured into just jumping into hostage negotiation right off academy. So usually the highest ranking officer on scene can take over negotiating. Sometimes we have a SWAT team available. Basically you're going to set up a perimeter, detain anybody and everybody on scene. Even if they're just standing around the corner of the bank, you're gonna detain them for your safety. Make sure you ID them and figure out who they are, what they're doing there. Run all the plates and of the vehicles in the area. Obviously, they're gonna have an escape vehicle. Sometimes they're stolen. Usually, they're registered to somebody. I'm trying to think of what I'm forgetting. Is there a 211 section? I can't even find it.
Okay, so in the Academy Training Manual, there is a robbery call section where you just briefly go over what the robbery call is. There's nothing that goes into detail.
Yeah, we don't need to go. I mean, we don't generally go to a scene and set it all up and do a scenario. We just talk about it and then we move on and then we cover that with the FTOs.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Usually the best way to train.
Yeah. I have never trained in academy before, so you're doing a great. I mean, it's totally fine if you would like us to kind of. We can take we can end it on our side and we'll go over it with him.
Yeah, go
I just don't want to hold the guy for like super late because I know it's getting really late. He's been on
so,
for a month.
So real quick, we went over all the traffic stops. We went over the code 5s, the shooting ranges, right, Alexander?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think that's major scenarios. Yeah, if you went over everything, I think PSO could pull out now. We're gonna do the rest of the detailed stuff for all the other detailed calls on our FTO trainings.
Absolutely.
Hey, thanks you guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
If you want to go over, if you do want to go over their oath, do you guys still make them do their oath?
I didn't do mine.
Yeah.
We didn't do that in the last FHP training or no. We're probably gonna want to go over all of this and what we do and what we don't do, just so we're all on the same page and stuff.
Yeah, or just create a whole training manual, a whole new one in general.
No, because we have the training manual, but I've been here 5 minutes, and this training seems 100% different than the one I ran with FHP with Hopewell like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't know what changed between 14 days ago and now.
Yeah, no. Whenever I did one with Matthews, we went into like full depth, but we had way smaller classes.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, this was a big class, so, and we probably want to next time get one trainer per person to do the like the chase scenarios and all that, just so we're doing them simultaneously and not waiting.
Yeah, no, I feel that I haven't done a class this big ever, to be honest.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we just need to
guys,
rethink it. That's all.
Yeah, sorry to everyone that's been here so late. This is like the first class we've had in a while where we've had more than 4 cadets all at once.
Hey man, I don't care. I just want to do my ride along, man.
Yeah.
Let's get them bad boys in cuffs.
So basically, you guys have done excellent. You guys are doing really good.
Yeah, you have.
I want another crack at that shooting range, though.
John, I will need to get with you here after we're done with this to go back over because you were kind of late to the class and I haven't got everything set up with you. So I do need to get with you and get your clothes and your guns and your car set up.
Alright, you're not to me.
But I'll pull you down here.
So that basically, yeah.
Are we done here? Did they finish
I
everything?
believe so. Yeah, they've covered pretty much everything. I got here kind of late, so I wasn't here to see what they did previously, but as far as I know, they made it to 211s. That's the final thing. They did their first day. They went over the whole menu before I even arrived
I went
here.
over it.
So.
Do you guys have any questions or lingering thoughts, lingering concerns? Anything you're not comfortable with?
Nope.
Jones.
Radio communication, but that will come.
So yeah, radio will come with your FTOs. You'll be practicing that a lot throughout your first and second ride along before you start driving and doing it all at once.
I have a question.
Sure.
Yep.
So like, do we as like highway patrol, do we like mostly to stay out of the city for like the most part, or how's like
the FHP has statewide jurisdiction, so we can go anywhere, but since PSO is
Alright, I'm gonna bail out of this really quick. Let's just stop that. Thanks.